Live from the CSI Softball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you in to NCAA Division II softball coverage, streaming exclusively on Flow College. In today's non-conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Golden Falcons of Felician University. First pitch of the game, bounce to third, and the throw across the diamond from Gianna Lopez is in time for the game's first out. Joe Foreman on the call this afternoon alongside Sam Whalen. And Sam, Dolphins coming in off a split against Dominican last time out. They take on a 7-11 Golden Falcons team, one of two non-conference doubleheaders remaining for the Dolphins before the start of conference play later in the week.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for having me again. I'm glad to be back. It's a beautiful day here at the College of Staten Island. And Dolphins treading water. I think they have a great shot against Felician today.
All right, so I think Nick said I had to keep the outs on the scoreboard myself, so I will do that. There is one out in the opening half inning. We'll get you the starting lineup for the Golden Falcons shortly. We got off to a bit of an early start here at the College of Staten Island. I don't think anyone's complaining on a Sunday.
Certainly not.
Great weather today as well. Always a bonus. It's been rather cold for the last couple of doubleheaders. All right, the outs are now auto-populating on the board. There we go. 0-2 the count on Gabriela Diaz. And she takes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Full lineup for the Golden Falcons. Hannah Ramirez, the starting center fielder, led things off, followed by Diaz, Kimberly Torres, Karina De La Vega, Sienna Cardell. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Kennedy Ruth has her first punch out. That will bring up Kimberly Torres.
Torres, the highest batter currently on Felician, hitting .456 this season.
Left-handed batter at the plate with the bases empty and 2 outs in the opening half inning. That's a chopper to second. Knocked down, and the throw is over just in time from Bridget Motley to retire the side. The Golden Falcons go down 1-2-3 in the opening half inning. Dolphins come to bat after this break with no score.
Leading off for the Dolphins, the left fielder, number 14, Presley Bourne.
Presley Bourne will lead off for the Dolphins in the home half of the first inning. No score between the College of Staten Island and Felician University. Joe Foreman on the call alongside Sam Whalen. Full Dolphins lineup 1 through 9. Bourne, Lopez, Warner, Motley, Morris, Judson, Mendoza, Smith, and Carey. Of course, Kennedy Ruth in the circle for the College of Staten Island. First pitch to Bourne, offered at and missed, 0-1.
And in the circle for Felician is Jocelyn Moody. She currently has a 3.16 ERA, 6-2 record.
And that one is chopped to the right side, played on one hop over at second base, and Bourne is retired for the first out of the home first inning. We'll get you the rest of the Felician lineup as well. We'll start from the top, 1 through 9. Ramirez, Diaz, Torres, De La Vega, Cardell, Kubala, Balans, Walling, DeBont, and in the circle, Jocelyn Moody. And Moody has a quick first out to begin her afternoon. Gianna Lopez at the plate here, ahead 1-0.
Moody having herself a great season so far. Only 1 home run allowed in 57 2/3 innings pitched coming into today.
Her 1-0 pitch on the way. Taken inside, 2-0 on Lopez. Lopez had a big hit in the win against Dominican University 2 days ago. Missed a grand slam by just a couple of feet. Chased home a couple of runs. And she looks at a strike on the inside corner, 2-1.
I guess that's something we're going to have to get used to, a late strike call, but an early noise from the umpire.
You pick up everything from behind the backstop. But, Sam, I have to admit, as that one is chopped toward the circle.
Fouled off her leg, it looked like.
Well,
but
they
no
let
call.
them play on.
Another late call. Here we go.
It sure was.
Good afternoon.
2-2. Well, to be fair, Sam, it's not technically past our scheduled start time yet, so there's still 3 minutes, now 2, to get in the swing of things. But as I was about to say, admittedly, I assumed a couple of balls in our last broadcast, and then 2 or 3 seconds later, the fist went up. The 2-2 pitch popped up, foul territory, and it lands between a pair of Golden Falcons down the right field line. Kubala and Balans both giving chase.
Kabala made a great effort on that one, tried to get it over the shoulder, just a foot short.
The count still even at 2 on Lopez. 1 away in the home first. And that's hit to the opposite field. Hit well, and that one will land at the base of the wall. Lopez taking the turnaround second. She heads for third. And she slides in safely with a 1-out triple.
Lopez sliced that one, went over the right fielder's head, who I think misread it, but maybe was also playing too far in, and it bounces off the wall.
It was a bad first step, Sam, by my estimation. We get one more look at it here on replay, but the first step was in, and after that, you lose the play in that right field corner. No hesitation by Lopez around second, and she is in with the 1-out triple.
Now for the Dolphins, no one as dangerous as Olivia Warner.
Warner nearly hit by that first pitch, 1-0.
She's hitting .519 this season.
What's been so impressive about Warner's start is the volume of extra base hits, as a percentage total of her hits so far this year. 1-0. Off the inside corner, 2-0.
7 doubles out of 14 hits. That'll play.
She hasn't homered yet, correct?
Correct.
A couple of those doubles were awfully close.
You would like to jinx that, wouldn't you?
Dolphins would not be opposed. I don't know if you heard, but we updated my moniker. I'm now Jinx Platinum, as that's taken low and inside, 3-0.
I think it upgrades every broadcast, right?
Well, I think the moniker came on a couple of years ago after I jinxed away a couple of no-hitters at the Little League level. We carried it over to Sportsnet. I think Nick becomes Jinx Prime, and you could be Jinx Supreme. 3-0 on the inside corner, 3-1.
I don't think I've accrued enough time yet.
You're not tenured enough yet?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Need my 10-5 rights.
(3-1). Hit sharply through the left side, base hit. And the Dolphins will jump out to an early 1-0 lead as Warner will hold it first with an RBI single. It's 1-0 Staten Island.
Warner smacked that one, and the infield playing in did not have time to react.
No need for the camera cut on that line drive hit. Warner sending that one into left field on the attempted dive. De La Vega couldn't get there, and Lopez comes in to score the game's first run. Bridget Motley at the plate now, and she takes a ball 1-0.
Well, I'll say that's exactly the kind of start you want against Jocelyn Moody, who so far this season has been very solid.
That is back-to-back well-struck softballs from the Dolphins. Took CSI's offense a bit to get going against the Chargers on Friday, but once they got started in Game 2, the floodgates opened. Now Motley ahead 2-0. 2-0. Chop to third. They go to second for one. On to first. Double play as Motley could not dive in ahead of the throw. The home first inning abruptly comes to an end for the Dolphins, but not before CSI takes an early one-run lead. Our score, Staten Island 1 and Felician nothing, heading to the second. Road second inning about to get underway from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins lead Felician University 1-0. An RBI single by Olivia Warner, putting CSI in front. That first pitch offered at for strike one at the plate, Karina De La Vega.
De La Vega probably the second most threatening hitter on Felician, hitting .353 coming into today with 1 homer and 3 triples. That's some speed.
Sure is. Speaking of speed and reflexes, she almost got to that ball hit by Warner. A good effort on that hard hit. I think you'd call it a line drive. It took one hop into left field, but it was a scorcher off the bat of Warner to put the Dolphins in front.
In the lightning quick first inning, didn't get a chance to highlight Ruth so far.
There's a grounder to the left side, handled by Lopez once again, and De La Vega is retired for the first out of the inning.
She's pitched 3 complete games so far for the Dolphins. Had some trouble with the home run. She's given up 3, sporting an 8 ERA right now. But if that first inning is anything to show, she can get lightning quick outs.
Another left-handed batter in Sienna Cardell at the plate. First pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 0-1. Dolphins really haven't had much of a choice other than to push their starters the distance in the majority of their outings this year. Kennedy Ruth and Marina Green, you're both forced to log a lot of innings. And those complete games, I would expect to reach double digits easily for both of them by the end of the year. That pitch on the outside corner, 1-2.
I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but last pitch before that one, there's already some John coming from the Dolphins dugout about balls and strikes.
Well, Nick and I, for much of last season, were seated directly to the right of that dugout, and we picked up a lot of good stuff. As that's hit well to right center field, chasing Mendoza back, and it will one-hop the wall. Coasting into second base with a stand-up double is Sienna Cardell, and the Golden Falcons have the tying run in scoring position.
Now batting for first baseman number 4, Brielle.
That will bring up Brielle Kubala.
Kubala sporting a 289 average coming into today.
First pitch on the way from Ruth. Up and away, ball 1. The 1-0. Chopper to short. Carry. Throws out Kubala, and Cardell is forced to hold at second.
Looked like Cardell tried to run as soon as the shortstop threw over to first, but she slipped. I don't know if maybe she was faking.
Number 34, Marielle.
She wouldn't have made it.
Well, here's a look at what happened at second base. You probably can't see it well on the screen, Sam, but our
Not even
viewers will
gonna
be
try and
able
look.
to. Yeah, it's not a great look, but I think it was the right play. The ball hit in front of her. Hold it second there. You're still in scoring position. Give your team one more chance. I hope I didn't just see you flinch, Sam.
I flinched.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
All right, first time behind the backstop. You get one pass.
I'm ready now.
You're going to have one come right at you at the netting, I guarantee. We had one take the netting back almost all the way to the laptop last game. I did not flinch. 1-0 hit up the middle. Diving stop, Motley, and the throw to first is not in time. However, the diving stop by Motley saves a run.
Wow, what a play. Yeah, it doesn't even matter she didn't get the out. That saves a run.
Second base before
Incredible play.
Melissa Walling.
That gives Ruth another chance to escape the inning unscathed. Here's one more look at that last play by Motley. That is a full extension diving stop on the backhand. Not too close over there at first base, but the job well done by the Dolphins' second baseman keeps this a one-run game for now. Allison Walling, the batter, and she takes out of the zone, ball 1.
Walling hitting 139 so far. Got shades of Bobby Wood Jr. on that diving stop. She was fully extended.
Bridget Baseball, as that's it deep to left field, down the line, and it is caught on the move by Bourne. Golden Falcons narrowly missing a 3-run homer off the bat of Walling, but they are denied in the second inning. The Dolphins remain ahead by 1. They come to bat after this break in the home second inning. Home second inning about to get started from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins with a 1-0 lead over Felician University. First pitch of the inning, bloop towards shallow right and down for a hit. Abby Morris, first pitch swinging, is on to lead off the bottom of the second.
Abby Morris drops one into right, and that's her 9th hit this season.
Now batting, the designated
That will bring up Taryn Judson.
Judson does have a home run on this season.
That came down in Raleigh, North Carolina, in a game that I covered. First pitch to Judson, taking low, ball 1.
I think it was a ball. If you're hearing
agree.
that chant.
Yeah, you know, when we were over there to the left, every chant was loud and clear, including some quite funny ones. I actually had a revelation during our last broadcast. We'll see if a number 1 comes to bat. But if a player wearing number 1 comes to bat, there'll be a chant. I want to see if you can make out what they're saying. It took me 10 years to figure out, oh,
10 years.
That's what they're doing.
Let's see.
I don't think we have a number 1. Line drive center field, and again it is misplayed and rolls all the way to the wall. The first step in by Ramirez cost her any chance at fielding that ball, and the Dolphins now have 2 in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, another outfield misplay. First step in, what do they always tell you? Your first step's got to be back. And a great hold by the third base coach because she was gunned if she went home.
Do you think she had a play on it if she took the correct first step?
Yes. Maybe a little jump.
Yeah, I thought it would be a tough play, but I think she definitely had one if her first step was back. I see our pizza delivery has arrived behind the center field wall, Sam.
Our?
No.
Oh.
It's Pat Fleming arriving with pizza. That's taken up and away. Pat was our top-tier scoreboard operator yesterday at Queens. At the plate here is Maylene Mendoza. Mendoza was featured in our play of the game last time out. If you check out CSI Dolphins on Instagram. That one fouled off. So, Sam, did my victory lap after catching a foul ball here at the softball complex reach you yet?
Haven't heard of it.
Okay. So, you know I caught a foul ball in the first game, right? Pop up directly over the backstop. I didn't even have to get up. I leaned back and caught it.
Aura.
I'm glad you said it, as that was bunted at, and Mendoza fouled it off. 1-2, but I said I've unlocked a new level of aura, and that play of the year at the Finneys for me is on the horizon.
Is there video of this catch?
There is. And everyone keeps talking about this Racky Kane tip-in. You know anything about that?
Haven't heard of it. But I have heard of you catching a softball, so.
Smart man. Swing and a miss by Mendoza, strike 3. And that's a big first out for Moody and the Golden Falcons.
Smith searching for her first hit on the season. And something I wanted to highlight earlier is Felician's defense so far this season, 26 errors. That's a lot.
That's a big number in just 18 games. Soleil Smith takes up and away, ball 1. And
for comparison, the Dolphins have 12.
Dolphins are ready with what I'd consider a web gem in this game. Right now, it's the reason they lead. Smith with a chance to extend that lead. And the 1-0's in for a strike. See, Nick is listening back at home. He's watching on Flow College.
Nick.
He just sent me 4 separate texts. A-U-R-A. He was there. He felt it in person. It's not quite the same.
I got 5 letters. G-L-A-Z-E.
Ooh. Bunt popped up by Smith, and it lands foul. Well, lost in all of that was, I mentioned, Maylene Mendoza was featured on the CSI Dolphins Instagram. Play of the game for the win over Dominican. Had a double and advanced on an errant throw to move up to third base. And then she scored on a bunt attempt, which saw her touch home plate through the 5-hole, the opposing catcher. She had to slide around a blocked plate. As Smith hits one back to the circle, and they'll throw her out at first base. Both runners forced to hold, and there are now 2 gone in the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 21, Kaylee Carey.
That will bring up Kaylee Carey. 2 in scoring position and 2 outs for the Dolphins here in the second.
Carey hitting .211 this season, wearing my number.
You're a number 21.
Indeed.
Do we have a 33? I know we did last year.
I'm not seeing one.
I don't think so. Though I'm wearing 15 today.
Is 33 your number?
It is.
Why is that?
You know what they call me, Sam. You know this already. You just want to hear me say it again.
You got me. Quickly 2-0.
Well, when you have the number 9 hitter up at the plate in this spot, you'd hate to turn it back over to the top of the order. However, first base is open. 2-0. Chopped and gloved by Moody. That's a big-time play by the Golden Falcons starting pitcher, and she helps her own cause right there as the Dolphins strand 2 in scoring position after back-to-back hits to open up the home second. We head to the third from the CSI Softball Complex. Staten Island over Felician, 1-0.
First pitch strike. Comes in outside corner. Here's Caitlin DeBont. She's hitting .074, and this is something new to me. Softball player is wearing the number 42. Of course, I'm familiar with Jackie Robinson's number being retired. A little bit new to softball. That pitch misses low. It's 1-1.
All right, thank you for taking over in my absence, Sam. Our public address microphone is not working. The batteries have run out. We had a brand new package of AA's up in the office. We went and retrieved those, and those have no juice from what I'm being told. So I was going to try and lend a hand, but Lou is going to exhaust the current batteries first. We'll take a look between innings as that one is a bunt, a good one, and Ruth's throw was strong, but not in time. It's a bunt single for Caitlin DeBont, and she's on to lead off the road third.
She's got some speed. DeBont 2 for 3 stolen base attempts this season.
That bunt just far enough to Ruth's right, allowing DeBont to beat it out. And immediately, Hannah Ramirez is hit by the pitch.
She wore that one.
Sure did. I forget which Dolphin it was yesterday, but one of the Dolphins got hit on the helmet, and I think it was Ryan Ortega. Acted as if nothing happened. Just took it right off the helmet, made his way down to first base, and I said the same thing. He wore that one.
No brawl.
Once again, it's a bunt. Ruth had to pump fake, waiting for Motley to cover, and
they called her out, I think.
They did call her out.
Wow.
Surely she was safe, but
and they'll talk it over.
I think they're going to talk it over. Let's get a look at it in slow motion. We're going to have some time.
Certainly in real time. Looks safe.
I think certainly in any time. In any timeline, she was out. Or she was safe, excuse me.
And they call her out.
Well, we're
After
going to get a look. We're gonna
deliberating.
get a look.
Hits the gritty.
Oh, my goodness, Sam.
Very safe.
That is really bad.
I guess no one
sorry.
was looking.
Well,
Neither of the umpires were looking
You
at
know,
the play.
sometimes I'm a bit more blunt than I should be, but that's simply awful. Tough break there for Felician. At the very least, if you're Diaz, you get credited with a sacrifice. But I think had that been called correctly, it goes down as a base hit. 1-0 the count on Kimberly Torres. 2 in scoring position, 1 out. And Torres slugs one deep to left. That one is headed over the left field, 1 out of here. It's a 3-run homer for Kimberly Torres. And she has put the Golden Falcons in front for the first time today. It's 3-1.
Well, Torres leads her team in home runs. That's her 4th on the season, and you can see why. She can go opposite field and still almost hit the scoreboard.
Oppo taco, as they like to say.
I miss tacos.
A native California delicacy. They do it the right way
man.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, I was at this place called the Hop Shop the other night. They had a 2 taco and margarita special, and let's just say sub 5.
Ooh.
But I wasn't expecting much.
You just forced me to bite my tongue really hard, Sam. That one is straight to the backstop. 1-0. Oh, man.
De La Vega back up.
Yes. Karina De La Vega 0 for 1 at the plate. Bats here with her team leading 3-1. And that's taken high.
I'm not clear on where the strike zone is for softball. Is it knees to lettering? Is that what it is?
It's no different.
Well, I'm surprised that was called a ball then.
You're aspiring a bit much.
Look, I'm not one to stray away from criticizing. They got a whole union.
You're a student, so we unleash you on the headset. I have to be a bit more diplomatic.
Sounds good.
So Nick and I were talking about it yesterday. Are you ready to be included on the Sportsnet staff directory? We need to get you a headshot.
Does that mean I can't criticize umpires anymore?
No,
It doesn't mean that?
it does not.
I'm in.
All right, get you a headshot. Have you ever seen the Sportsnet staff directory?
No.
It's gotten a lot smaller this last year. We went from 7 to, I think, 4. But you can be 5. It's a very prestigious group to be a part of.
I'm aware.
As that's taken low. Once you're tenured long enough, you get a nickname. And,
I thought I had a nickname.
well, do I dare ask what you think it is?
Actually, yeah, I think you've said 2 different ones, so I'm not sure.
Well, Nick always gets on me for asking him, you know what they say? And he's like, Joe, you say a lot of things. So that's grounded through the left side for a base hit. And that's a good at-bat for De La Vega as she ran the count full and is on with a 1-out single.
Yeah, she worked that one and then carry it short. Tried to make a diving stop. Just couldn't get to it.
That will bring up Sienna Cardell.
And Ruth was gesturing towards the dugout. I'm not sure. It looked like she was asking for a new ball or something, but I'm sure that means something else. Is that softball lingo?
You lose me at lingo. 1-0 the count on Cardell. She's 1 for 1 at the plate. One-zero pitch. Hit out to right center field. Long run for Morris. She won't get there. It rolls all the way to the fence. They are waving home De La Vega, and she puts the brakes on halfway down the line.
That was a great relay. If she kept running, she would have been guns. And even a few steps further, they would have had her in a pickle.
Here's one more look at it on the replay. as the Golden Falcons have really gotten some good swings against Kennedy Ruth here in the third.
Cardell came into today hitting 125. She already has 2 hits.
That was a great relay, Sam. You were right on it. First pitch, hard hit grounder to second. And Motley will take the out at first. In to score is De La Vega, and it's now 4-1 Golden Falcons.
Well, good on Felician for putting the ball in play, but if you're Ruth, you'll take that out.
Yeah, the way they've hit the ball in this half inning, you'll take it out however you can get it. But Sam, once again, that ball was hit pretty hard as well. First pitch strike to Marielle Balans. Now, would you say Balans or Balanze?
I'm not going to say either one.
You don't want to be wrong. I get it.
She's hitting 400, though.
I think that's the most important piece, and she nearly raised that batting average just a bit, but Presley Bourne is there, making that catch from one knee. The Golden Falcons will settle for 4 in the road third inning. They now lead Staten Island by 3. Our score, Felician 4 and Staten Island 1.
Coming up for the Dolphins, number 14, Presley Bourne. She made that diving stop in left field last inning. Coming into today, hitting 346, 2 RBIs on the year.
Top of the order due up for the Dolphins here in the home third inning. Now trailing for the first time today. Felician in front, 4-1. Bourne 0 for 1 at the plate. Waits the 0-1 pitch. Soft liner through the middle and into center field for a base hit. That caught some leather on the way to center. I think Moody may have gotten a thread on it, but Bourne got enough of that softball to lead off with a hit.
Absolutely, it touched her glove, and something I wanted to highlight at the end of the last inning for Felician's defense is Moody is so tall. The bouncer that was hit over her head, she didn't even have to jump. She just stuck her glove up, and that one was just hit a bit too hard for her to react in time.
First pitch to Gianna Lopez out of the zone, 1-0. Lopez 1 for 1. Tripled and scored in her first at-bat back in the first inning. And that one gets through to the backstop, moving Bourne up to second, and she took quite the turn there. Now our crew put this in our game day group chat. Did you happen to notice that Torres is a left-handed catcher, left-handed thrower?
Wow.
You never see that.
I guess anything goes the D2 level, right?
Not on headset, though.
I wasn't suggesting that.
That one's chopped foul, 2-1 on Lopez.
I like to think I wouldn't be the first one to break that rule.
That would definitely be me. I'm 100% outing myself there. I'll tell you, I put my career in Nick's hands with that mute button. The 2-1. I better be nice to him. If he ever wanted to get me, he could just uncheck that.
You probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you know. much simpler when you mute the mixer. But we're using the portable mixer today. 2-2 the count on Lopez. And she grounds one down the line, base hit. They're waving Bourne home, and the throw to the plate is just a bit late. Throw down to second, and Lopez is in safely. It's an RBI single for Gianna Lopez, her second hit of the game, and the Dolphins are back within 2. It's now 4-2 Felician.
And Felician's dugout is going to complain about that call, but I saw the ball hit the base. That means it's fair. We're going to have a stoppage of play here.
Well, we're going to get a look at it on replay. Slow it down to about quarter speed here.
I wish I could just speak up and tell the coach to hit the base, but I'm not sure I can say that.
I don't know if it did, Sam.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah. You don't get a good look at it on that angle. We'll have to go wide. Here's one more look at it at full speed before the next at bat. We'll slow it down in a minute. Olivia Warner at the plate. She singled home a run in the first inning. A chance for another RBI here. She goes ahead 1-0.
Lopez got her 6th RBI in the season, and Warner comes into today with 8. She's padding those numbers. She had one in the first with the Dolphins' hot start, and they're looking to keep the momentum going here.
1-0 in for a strike, 1-1.
You seen anything on that replay?
Not on the shot in tight. After this at bat, we're going to go to the wide shot. The 1-1. Fouled off. Warner behind 1-2. This would be a big strikeout for Moody if she could get it. 1-2. Fouled away.
I think a strikeout's unlikely. You saw the pitch before. Low and off speed. Warner kept on it, pulled it foul, and now a fastball outer third, and she keeps it alive. I think she's going to put it in play.
1-2 the count on Warner. Pitch on the way. Hit in the air. Shallow left, falling fast, and it's dropped. Unable to make the play, charging in on it was DeBont. And the Dolphins now have 2 on with nobody out here in the third.
Unfortunately, DeBont leads the team in errors. That's her 8th now this season.
All right, so here's a look at that pop-up. And then after that, we're going to get a look at that last play. If you want to try and see it, Sam, you're more than welcome. All right, here's the play on the chopper down the line, quarter speed. You're not going to see it.
Coming into pinch run for the Dolphins is number 4.
It didn't hit the base. The question is whether or not it skipped over the corner or went wide.
Talk early so you can feel she gets to run through.
And I think I say the same thing every time, sounding like a broken record, but it comes down to the individual with the best angle making that call. You don't get a better angle than looking at it from down the line.
You have it here.
That being said, you can argue that the individual with the best angle also made the call at first base earlier, and that didn't quite go the right way. Pinch runner at first base is Angie Guerrero. Bridget Motley at the plate takes ball 1. Motley hit to a double play to end the first inning in her first at-bat. Gets a second chance here with the tying runs on base.
Guerrero 1 for 1 on steals this season. She runs track.
And that one's lofted out to shallow right center and down for a hit. They will hold Lopez at third, and the throw got in just behind Guerrero at second.
And that throw home was interesting because the catcher was looking at third base. She barely recovered. It could have gotten by.
Here's a look at all that transpired on that play. See Guerrero holding up, waiting to make sure that one fell, and she certainly beat the throw to second.
Right back to her for a tag. Got me?
Those are tricky sometimes. If you don't make that read soon enough, you can end up out on a force play. But everyone's safe, bases loaded, Abby Morris at the plate. And Morris grounds one to third. They're coming home with it. And they get the force on Lopez there.
Pretty textbook grounder. Go home to get the lead out. Didn't have time to turn two.
Number 35, Taryn Jordan.
Taryn Judson comes up with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Taken off the inside corner. I'm well aware. Unfortunately, not everyone was. To be fair, Sam, he's doing the lineups off the handwritten lineup card. So we'll excuse him the first time. 1-0. Now, if Nick is still listening, he's going to have a field day if he heard that. Is he still listening is the question.
Something important I'm noticing here is no leads. Look at Guerrero's stance. It's like she's in the blocks on third base.
Could score on a shallow fly ball if necessary, as Judson takes a strike 2-1. Oh, I think he's listening, Sam. He is listening. Did he hear it is the question. 2-1 the count. Bases loaded, one out. And that one gets away. Guerrero in to score. They still haven't found it. And here comes Motley.
Another
Two-run score on the wild pitch. And the Dolphins have tied the game.
That's one way to do it.
Sure is. I can't recall the last time I saw a two-run score on a wild pitch.
I thought it would be close with Guerrero on the first one, and I'm not sure what happened. They just didn't pick the ball up, or
I think what happened is they expected Moody to track it down, and Torres was covering home. Meanwhile, Judson draws the walk, putting runners on the corners.
what is the protocol? The catcher finds the ball and the pitcher covers home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got crossed a bit there. I think what happened, and we'll get one more look at it, I think Torres saw Moody charging in and assumed she was going after the ball.
And the Dolphins are pinch running Martinez
You know what? She
here.
just couldn't find it. She just couldn't find it, Sam.
Wow. Bright yellow ball.
And they almost threw it away again. If that one got through up the third base line, that wild pitch may have cleared the bases.
Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Mylene Mendoza.
Hey, hey, show this here.
Mylene Mendoza, another chance to get posted on the Dolphins' Instagram.
That's a good point, Sam. You chase home a pair here with another extra base hit. It could be featured in our play of the game. First pitch on the way. Taken out of the zone, and pinch runner Jalen Martinez will move up to second. We have
That's her
Maylene
first
and
steal.
Jalen.
It's okay, everyone messes up names sometimes.
Well, not everyone. You haven't yet, right?
I hope not.
Let's keep it that way. The 1-0. Loop toward the middle and into center field for a base hit. They will hold Martinez at third. Mendoza with a large lead off of first. There is nobody at the bag right now. And they'll scramble over to make sure she's forced to hold. Dolphins go in front, 5-4. And they'll have a chance for more here with runners on the corners.
Is this a pitching change?
And indeed it is. So with that, we will step aside and take a break. The Dolphins have jumped back in front. They fell behind 4-1, now lead it 5-4. New pitcher on for Felician when we come back.
Look at me. Look at me.
Dolphins have runners on the corners, only one out. Soleil Smith trying to drive one in here.
And they induce the rundown between first and second as Martinez gets in under the tag.
Picture perfect double steal. That's exactly what you want to do in that situation. I'm sure they've practiced that one.
All right, Sam, I'm needed on stats in a moment, so you will carry us through. We're going to go to the wide shot. The Dolphins lead it 6-4. Soleil Smith at the plate. And another opportunity for CSI coming with a runner in scoring position.
Well, usually that throw to second is uncontested because they know the runner from third will try and score.
Other way, reverse it, reverse it, reverse it, reverse it.
The new pitcher for Felician is Kelsey Vitalis. She sports a 6.49 ERA. 5 homers allowed this season. She struggles giving up the long ball. Smith down 0-2 quickly. That one misses high. Brings the count to 1-2.
All right, I think it was a quick fix over there at stats. Back on headset with the Dolphins in the midst of a rally. It is 6-4. Staten Island 5 runs home here in the third. As we mentioned prior to the break, pitching change for the Golden Falcons. Smith now with an even count, 2-2, but Kelsey Vitalis is the new pitcher for Felician.
Smith still searching for her first hit. This will be a great time.
Vitalis moved out of the flex spot into the circle as Smith chops that one foul to stay alive. The numbers for Vitalis on the season very quickly. She comes in with a 6.49 ERA and a whip of 2.04 in 8 appearances and 5 starts. She has 2 complete games and 32 1/3. She's allowed 53 hits, 35 runs, 30 earned. And she has a strikeout of Smith here. That strikeout is her 17th of the season. She's walked 13, and 146 opposing batters have hit 363 against her.
Number 21, Haley Gathering.
Here's the shortstop carry. Swings over the first one.
Count 0-1 on carry. And that's grounded to third. Throw to first in time. And the side is retired, but not before the Dolphins chase home 5 runs in the inning. They take the lead back. It is Staten Island 6 and Felician 4. Fourth inning about to get underway from the CSI softball complex. And Sam, you know, you and I had a conversation about what your nickname might be. Do you assume the Jinx Supreme moniker? You and I were talking about how long our games have run this year here at softball during one of the breaks. And you said, well, this game's not headed in that direction. And all of a sudden there are 10 runs on the board, and we are not even halfway through at the 1 hour mark.
You got me.
So welcome to the club. Between me, you, and Nick, our jinxing game is strong, but you didn't flinch on that foul ball, so that's good.
No, I told you I'm ready now.
Well, not a foul ball, but
A tip off the glove, if you will.
a tip off the catcher's glove. I think this is the first game we've covered where Olivia Warner has done the catching. Kennedy Ruth handed a 2-run lead. Dolphins responding well after Felician put up 4 in the third. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike on Allison Walling.
Walling hitless so far today. Fouls that one back.
That one hit in the air, left center, and Bourne is there to make the catch. 1 away in the fourth.
That one hung up for a little bit. There's some wind today if you look at that flag in left field.
If you get the ball in the air here at the CSI softball complex, there's a good chance it's going to travel a long way. Having rangy outfielders is a huge boost as that's chopped to the right side. Easy play for Motley, and there are 2 gone in the inning as Caitlin DeBont is retired on 1 pitch.
Well, this is a perfect inning so far for Ruth. Not literally perfect in the sense, but this is exactly what you want to do. Get them out quickly, get your offense back.
Not quite the immaculate inning. What do you think? You prefer an immaculate inning with the 9 strikes or the 3-pitch inning, 3 outs?
Much prefer the 3-pitch inning. I'm a Maddox guy.
Okay.
I think the immaculate
Mad
inning
Dog?
is a representation of sort of the way baseball has transformed
Yeah.
in modern times.
Home runs and strikeouts. Ruth misses away. The count 2-0 on Hannah Ramirez. Ramirez 0 for 1 with a run scored. She was also hit by a pitch.
Ramirez was the one that wore one, as we said.
Yep. You're not going to wear that one as it skips in for ball 3. Ready, 10 runs home in this game on a combined 14 hits. Ruth behind 3-0 on Ramirez. That's in for a strike, 3-1.
It's hard to pinpoint exactly what kind of pitch is being thrown from the movement or the grip. I have no idea what the grips are, but it looked like that was a get-me-over fastball.
I think what you're looking for typically, as the 3-1 is off the corner, ball 4. I think what you're looking for in terms of pitches generally is you'll have what's called a drop pitch. That's the off-speed stuff. You'll have the rising fastball, and then you'll have a straighter fastball. If you can get the ball to drop with good velocity, I think personally that's what separates good pitchers from great pitchers. If you can get that ball to drop with any velocity, it is tough to hit. It's a 2-out walk to put a runner on first. And drawing some attention over there was Ramirez. Gabriela Diaz at the plate. Diaz 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Also laid down a sacrifice. I believe she was on the wrong end of that unfortunate call at first base.
That was her.
Yep. That was a tough one. Had that call gone the other way, it might have been a much bigger inning for Felician. You're looking at least 1 more run and another out to play with as well. Once again, Ruth behind 2-0 on Diaz, and she catches the corner with that pitch, 2-1.
And that was a strike. The past 2 pitches, I'm not really sure where they missed.
I think if you and I were elevated to where the railing is, so if we're at the front of the bleachers with a table there, As that's lined on one hop to short. Carey throws to first in time, but you get a really good look if you're elevated just a bit more. From our perspective, it's a bit tough to make out high, low. Inside out, a bit easier from directly behind the plate. Felician strands one in the fourth. Dolphins come to bat, leading 6-4 after this break. Presley Bourne will lead off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the fourth inning. CSI leading Felician 6-4. And Bourne takes low and away, ball one.
Vitalis is still in. She'll be trying to minimize the damage, keep Felician within striking distance.
One 0. Up and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
This Dolphins order has looked great today. The first 3 hitters have 4 hits.
2-0. This is again ball 3. If you
In
look,
softball, is it a red light no matter what on 3-0?
I'd say it is in this spot. With the bases empty, 2-run game, no way I'm having Bourne swing. What do I know? Oh, nearly doubled. We had a great look at it from our home plate camera.
It was very close. Maybe one softball foul. One or two.
I think as soon as I said there's no way she's swinging, it was a sure thing.
That's how it works.
Did you think automatic red light?
Yes.
Okay. They say great minds think alike, so. Vindicated. 3-1. Chopped back to the circle. And Bourne is thrown out at first. We're out number 1 in the home fourth.
Well, thank you for the compliment, Joe.
You wouldn't be here if I didn't think you were a great mind. I don't have patience for feeble minds. Won't name names.
Feeble, that's a good word.
Depending on the context, it could be even better. 1 away here in the home fourth inning. Gianna Lopez at the plate. She's already 2 for 2. And Lopez takes on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
Lopez with her speed tripled in the first to start the Dolphins scoring over the head of the right fielder.
Every Dolphin in the batting order 1 through 7 has reached base in this game. And that's hit the other way, down the line, foul ball.
Trying to understand the chants going on.
And not only has 1 through 7 in the order reached for the Dolphins, they've all reached via a base hit as well. 0-2 the count on Lopez. And that one's flared on the infield, caught over at second base by Walling for the second out.
Well, that one you could discern was definitely an off-speed pitch, way slower than her previous pitches. And Vitalis gets an easy fly right to second base.
Vitalis will now face Olivia Warner with the bases empty. 2 outs in the home 4th inning. And it's another nub shot to second. And Walling handles no problem and throws out Warner to retire the side. The Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. They lead Felician University 6-4 as we head to the 5th inning. Kimberly Torres leads off for the Golden Falcons here in the road 5th inning. They trail the College of Staten Island 6-4. Kennedy Ruth still out there for the Dolphins in the circle. And her first pitch of the inning is in for a called strike, 0-1.
Torres, of course, hit that big home run. Not enough to put Felician on top, and she's not threatening here because, as they say, the people that say things.
That's usually me, but continue.
The solo homers are not what gets you.
I am, as a broadcaster, someone who's always looking at where you are in the batting order and what getting the out at hand means for who's due up to begin an inning. Do you turn the lineup over after you face a particular batter? I'm always keen to that kind of stuff. And whenever you can get 4, 5, and 6, 3, 4, and 5, as the Golden Falcons have in this case, to open the inning, that's probably the best case. Better not to face them with runners on. That being said, it also sets you up for a bigger inning, as that's grounded toward the middle. Carey needs a strong throw, and it is not in time.
Little nutmeg action on that one. Right through the wickets.
There's one more look at it. I don't even think we need to go wide shot here. And we certainly do not. Just not hit hard enough for Carey to have a shot at first base. The play was not close. First pitch to Karina De La Vega, fouled back, 0-1. Golden Falcons third baseman, 1 for 2 in this game. Has a run scored as well.
Torres at first, not a threat to run. 0 steals, 0 attempts.
Grounded to third. They will get the lead runner, and they will not get the double play, as it looks like De La Vega is grabbing at her leg.
Looked like a textbook double play, but Lopez at third hesitated a bit on the throw, double clutched, and that was all the time De La Vega needed.
Those double plays tough to turn. I thought De La Vega was grabbing at her leg after she reached first base, but she appears okay, remains in the game. At the plate now, Kelsey Vitalis. She takes out of the zone, ball 1. First at bat of the game for Vitalis, moving out of the flex spot into the circle.
Number 33.
Those are my digits.
There's a Schoolhouse Rock song. 3 is a magic number.
Is it? Well, we very nearly had a 3-man crew for this game, but Nick needs to update his MacBook. He is running a very old OS if he can't use FarPlay. I had a brand new microphone too for the table. No more calling in on my cell phone. No more extra headset for Nick. We just put the microphone in between us. He can hear us both.
Come on, Nick.
3-0 the count. And Ruth finds the zone there, 3-1.
Let's upgrade that computer. The people want to hear you.
He's a tenured member of the staff directory. Maybe we get him a laptop at some point.
Be a nice gift.
I'm sure he'll take it. 3-1. Rides upstairs, ball 4. Tying runs now on base for Felician with just 1 out here in the 5th.
Quickly, Ruth finds herself in a bit of a jam. Do we use that word in softball?
Sure. Do you have another suggestion?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. A bit of a conundrum.
It's a bit too big of a word
Too big?
for a game where a ball is hit by a stick.
There's a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
That one's gone 50-50 today. Ruth had it called in her favor for that pitch.
Leo Kubala at the plate here with 2 on, 1 out in the inning, and that's a good block by Warner.
I was about to say.
Runners moving up. 1 base puts 2 in scoring position. One and 1. Grounded to short. Carey plays it on a hop and gets the out at second. Stretched by Smith at first. She's off the back. Throw to the plate, not in time. The run comes in to score from second as the Dolphins nearly turn 2. Smith giving the thumbs up. She says she is okay. The question is there any chance she kept her foot on the bag?
I think she did. And also a very heads-up base running play by De La Vega, seeing that Smith was on the ground, kept running from third and scored.
See if we can get a look at whether or not Smith kept that foot anchored. I think her foot was on the bag, Sam.
Well, they say trust your first instinct, and I was wrong earlier in the game, according to you. But I think she was out at first base.
Slow it down a bit more here.
And if she's out, that run doesn't come home. And I think that's why De La Vega was just running regardless.
The foot eventually came off for sure. I think it was on when the ball arrived. But again, the individual with the best angle made the call. Chopper foul off the bat of Marielle Belanze.
We're going to put big quotation marks around best.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Belanze without the pronunciation guide. Yo, 1. Fouled away, 0-2. That sequence makes it a 1-run game. Runner on first with 2 gone now for the Golden Falcons. Ruth 1 strike away from escaping the 5th with the lead. Yo, 2. Popped up again. Foul ball off the netting and into the glove of Warner.
So she's out, right?
Well, not quite. Nick and I joked when I caught the foul ball that
Banana ball.
That's an out. Chopper to third, hits slowly. Lopez comes in on it and gets the out at first to retire the side. But the Golden Falcons do get 1 run closer A ground ball that nearly turned into a double play allows one run to come in to score from second. The Golden Falcons strand one in the fifth. Our score, the Dolphins 6 and the Golden Falcons 5. Bridget Motley will lead off for the Dolphins in the home fifth inning. Staten Island over Felician 6-5. First pitch on the way to Motley, grounded to short. And it's a one pitch out to begin the home fifth inning.
The next two batters for the Dolphins, Morris, then Judson, both have hits in this game.
Abby Morris to the plate here. She's 1 for 2. First pitch on the way. Inside, ball 1. Vitalis yet to allow a hit in 2 innings of work. Has a strikeout. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
That's 2 inside now. Vitalis has done a great job limiting the damage, as we said, and keeping Felician within striking distance.
On the outside corner, 2-1.
Great frame job there.
There's that 50-50 location you mentioned earlier.
No ABS here.
That would be something, wouldn't it? 2-1. On the corner once again,
my.
2-2.
That one was outside, but you got to give props to the catcher, Torres. Great frame job.
You think that gets called if she's right-handed?
I'm going to say no. It's not as easy to bring it back.
Yeah. 2-2. Chopped foul. They went away twice and came back in. Morris did well to get a piece.
Hit that one into her own dugout somehow. Very hard to do that with the way the fences are set up.
Get this. We had an at-bat in the last game where we almost went around the world hitting the columns. We hit the first column 2 pitches in a row, the second column, and then the third column just missed.
Wow.
2-2. And Morris just got out of the way.
Column bingo.
I think our dugout wanted her to wear that one on the shin. It's a warm day.
Man, you don't want to get hit on the shin.
No, you don't. In a one-run game, though, maybe.
I still don't.
I'll take the hamstring first, but, you know. 3-2. Low and inside, ball 4.
Great at-bat worked. Here comes Judson.
Now batting the designated player, number 35, Taryn Judson.
That is her name.
Sam, you are digging in.
Just making an observation.
I don't think with the sound level we're at right now, the audience at home can hear the batter announcements. But As I mentioned before, our PA announcer is doing the announcements off a photograph of the lineup card, and sometimes the handwriting can be less than neat, we'll say, and he misread Judson as Jordan.
And I'm not sure if you could hear the first base coach just refer to her as Jordan as a joke,
No way.
but it is catching on.
Yikes. It's a thing now. There's a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
I think Michael Jordan said something about using anything you can to
To motivate?
motivate yourself against
Okay.
the opponent. And in this case, the opponent would be the PA announcer, but whatever it takes.
We don't want the home PA announcer to be an opponent of our team. Though you and I, of course, are unbiased. Well, I am anyway.
That one, way high.
You don't want to wear that one.
She does have the face mask.
True. I take it back.
I still wouldn't want to wear it.
The face mask hopefully would catch it. The 1-1. Low for ball 2. Ooh, you just made Nick laugh out loud with our exchange about the PA announcer. We have to be nice to Lou, though. He gets us Yankee Stadium comps. His comps are better than mine, too, Sam.
That was a good frame job. Didn't get the call that time. Now it's 3-1.
The crowd is becoming a bit restless, Sam. I think they're with you.
Certainly.
3-1 the count on Judson.
And if you listen to the Dolphins dugout, that last pitch was indeed a ball.
And Judson takes inside for ball 4. Well, I'll tell you, the Golden Falcon fans in attendance are not pleased.
No, they just straight up said he is not good when referring to the home plate umpire.
That's not nice.
Tell us how you really feel.
Just don't give them a headset while they do it.
Well, that's what we're doing with me right now, isn't it?
Maylene Mendoza at the plate here. 2 on, 1 out for the Dolphins, leading by 1 in the 5th. Infield expecting a bunt. They get one, but it rolls foul.
That would have been great if it stayed fair. No one was ready for that on the right side, and the runners would have advanced.
Leave that vacated. Leave that vacated. We're going to go there. Double, double, double.
Long look in here ahead of the 0-1. Bunted again, fielded, and the throw to first into the runner is handled at first base. Sacrifice successful. 2 in scoring position for the Dolphins, and now 2 outs here in the 5th.
Maylene Mendoza does her job. Almost hits her on the throw. She made a point of not straying too far from the line. If it hit her, it would have been bases loaded.
All right, Sam, I've been alerted to another error on our pronunciation guide.
Maylene?
It's Mylene.
It is.
The pronunciation guide that we were given, the official document of the CSI Dolphins softball team, very clearly, Maylene, but it is Mylene.
Well, you know, people change their minds all the time.
They don't change their names all the time, though. There's our SID. Steph can break the news. Break the news, Steph.
Smith now with 2 outs. 2 balls quickly, no strikes. She's still searching for that first hit.
The 2-0. Up high, 3-0 on Smith.
No reason to swing at this point. Right?
Well,
You want to jinx it for us?
first base is open. I'm more likely to swing with first base open, but I don't think she will. You can see by the way the bat's resting, she's not swinging, surely. Ball 4. Not tempted on that pitch.
Here's Carey, and the Dolphins have worked them loaded.
Huge opportunity here for the first-year Dolphin, Kaylee Carey. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and we might be getting a pinch hitter here.
Is that Emma Powell?
I believe so. So we're going to get a pinch runner at second. Emily Riley will run for Judson. And Emma Powell is going to pinch hit for Kaylee Carey.
Not seeing any stats for her. Is this her first at bat?
Might be. All right, so the pinch runner is not for Judson. It is for Smith at first. So Riley runs for Smith, and Powell will bat for Carey. Sam, as you said, first at bat of the season.
See what she can do. Bases juiced.
Number 5, Emma Powell.
How far are we into the season?
Ooh.
This is quite the spot to get your first at bat.
It's the early going, just 10 games in. I think they have 38 scheduled, if I counted correctly. So we're at about the quarter mark.
2 outs, bases loaded. This is the stuff you dream of.
Huge spot for Powell. Dolphins, leading by just 1, have a chance to extend that lead considerably. And Powell tipped that one into the catcher's mitt. 0-1. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2.
They've gone inside a bit twice. Powell swung over the top. Let's see if they try it again.
You think they triple up after those 2 swings or go away here?
I have no idea what they'll do, Joe.
They're going away. That's taken low. Yeah, I think it was either triple up or try and get her to chase. I think now it's a matter of when they come back in. Setting up in again. Chopper, right side. Played on the short hop at first. And stepping on the bag is Kubala to retire the side. The Dolphins strand the bases loaded in the home 5th inning, and it remains a 1-run ball game. Our score, Staten Island 6 and Felician 5.
number 16, Mallory Shevlin.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex, where I just got some programming news during the break, Sam. CSI Sportsnet back on the road this week.
On the road?
On the road.
That's surprising.
Not really. We had baseball games scheduled. As the first pitch in the 6th inning is taken for ball 1. Mallory Shevlin is the pinch hitter for the Golden Falcons here.
Shevlin comes into this game batting .333. That's a lot of threes.
As Nick would say, my favorite batting average, but
3 hits, 3 total bases on the season.
Nick better listen up closely because he could be solo on Thursday night. We are hosting St. Thomas Aquinas College in Spark Hill on Thursday night. We are also hosting Sunday Night Baseball in Spark Hill as of the latest scheduling. That will be confirmed later in the week, but it looks like we are going Thursday night and Sunday night to Spark Hill. The Dolphins will host the Spartans in conference play. As that gets through to the backstop, 3-1. I cannot call a game on Thursday night. I'm not available Thursday. So depending on the situation, Sam, you could potentially head up to Spark Hill. That is very possible. You and Nick. As that runs low and in, ball 4, and Shevlin draws a pinch hitting walk. So right now, based on what I was told, it's going to be a single followed by a double and another single. I think they told me Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Or is it perhaps singles on Friday and Saturday? Look at that, Steph unflinching on the bunt attempt.
Impressive.
Caitlin
going right for her.
She's a seasoned vet at this point. She knows if she flinches, there are no more benches. There's no more room. She can't sit here. She gets banished to the shadow realm with Lou in the bleachers. Stats from the front row. 0-1 on Caitlin DeBont. And that sails high, 1-1.
DeBont, of course, had the error, but making up for it, she has 2 hits so far this game, 3 RBIs.
And that runs up and in, 2-1. I'm trying to think when the last time we covered a night game that I was on the call for was. You and Nick covered a night game last year. That was against Bloomfield here at CSI. Heroes Day was day games. In the past, Heroes Day was a single night game. Let's go, 1-1. Bunted and played by Lopez, and once again, the Dolphins are without anybody covering first in time.
She's got some speed. I think DeBont would have been safe regardless.
Certainly a good chance she would have beaten that out anyway. Let's get a look at it on replay. Back to the top of the order now. Hannah Ramirez at the plate as we get one more look at that bunt. And I think if there's somebody waiting there for that throw, they had a chance to get the out. It would have been a close play, but definitely one there was a chance to make.
Ramirez now hitless today, but has been on twice. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch.
Throw to third, not in time. Both runners move up a base. That ball got away just far enough as Ramirez was showing bunt. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. The tying run moves up to third.
Felician threatening heavily now.
Oh, 0-1 the count on Ramirez. Dolphins bring the infield in a 1-run game. Swing and a miss.
Great pitch there from Ruth. You need strikeouts here. But on deck is Diaz. In the hole, Torres. 0 outs. You do the math.
No relief coming up in the Felician batting order. As that's hit on 1 hop to third, Lopez looks the runner back. Throw to first in time. And the runners hold.
Great stop by Lopez. Perfect throw. That's what you need.
Huge play there by Lopez. We'll get a look at it from the shot behind home plate. As Nick said during our last broadcast, they call it the hot corner for a reason. That is a tough hop to play from a position where your infield was in. A huge first out, a bunt attempt, and Smith will look toward third, throw to first, they get the runner there. And once again, both runners are forced to hold. Now, they called the runner at first base safe.
Oh my goodness.
Diaz is ruled safe. Did
Well, maybe that's for what happened
come off
earlier.
the bag?
Because earlier she was robbed, and now it seems the Dolphins have been robbed.
Well, we have to look at the replay.
Catcher number 13, Kimberly.
Either way, Torres is going to be up with runners in scoring position.
I thought they had her at first.
Oh, they did.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, they
That's what
get it
happens
back.
when you don't have a first base umpire.
All right, Sam, that is really tough. I mean,
It's actually really easy.
that's two of them. That one fouled back. Nothing in one on Kimberly Torres, but man, Sam, it's been a rough day out there.
Sure has. See if Ruth can take things into her own hands, stop Torres from doing damage like she's used to doing.
I'm surprised there was no protest. The Dolphins did not protest. I'm curious if they ruled she came off the base too early. As that's popped up, shallow left center, and it's down for a hit. Carey plays it on a hop and throws to third as the tying run comes in to score. It's an RBI bloop single for Kimberly Torres, and we are all knotted up at 6.
Well, nobody there, but the runners did have to freeze. Could have been 2 if it was more clearly going to be a hit. And now we're calling time.
All right, we're going to get a look at the base hit, and then we're going to wind it back and take a look at the play over at first. All right, you might not be able to see it, Sam, but
Definitely can't.
it's slowed down. I'll let you know.
Give me the play-by-play of the replay.
Okay. Bunt laid down toward first. Smith comes in. Falling makes the throw. You know what? Tie goes to the runner, Sam.
That was a tie?
Actually, it's either a tie or she's safe.
Well, your stance changed quickly.
It sure did. In real time, I assume they had her. I think she's safe. Though, to be fair, if you look at it, we'll wind it back and just play it through once more, but the shadow that the foot of the base runner casts over first base makes it really tough to tell when the foot arrives.
Well, here comes De La Vega. Bases juiced. She's already got 1 hit in this game.
Count 1-0 now. Let's see if Nick gives us any help. And that one fouled back. One ball
Beautiful
and one
off
strike.
speed there.
All right,
Ruth got her to be a little bit early, and she just nubbed it off the end of the bat.
Nick said she's safe.
All right, Nick. Take your word for it.
Much better look at it on a TV or a monitor.
You really think he's watching this on a TV?
I do. You'd be surprised how many devices carry the Flow app, as that swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on De La Vega.
Ruth bearing down here.
There's a big pitch here with the bases loaded. 1-2, fouled off.
De La Vega stays alive. This is the make or break here, I think, for this game. Felician can break it wide open with a base hit.
Another 1-2 on the way. And that is lofted foul.
Off speed, high and away. De La Vega still goes for it.
It's still 1-2. Golden Falcons cleanup hitter at the plate in a huge spot. The 1-2. Fouled away again. These have been defensive cuts, Sam.
Staying alive, that's the most important thing. Worth noting, Ruth is up to 86 pitches.
Compared to where she's finished, a couple of the doubleheaders we've covered already this year, that's nothing.
I do think this has been a taxing inning, especially.
I say that all the time as that's hit deep to right. That will get the run in. It's caught, and the Golden Falcons are going to take the lead. It's a sacrifice fly for Karina De La Vega, and Felician goes in front, 7-6.
Good piece of hitting there, just got it in the air past the infield. Scores the leading run now. Got to get Vitalis out here if you're Ruth. Can't let this go on any longer.
I think that was caught outside the range of our wide shot. At the plate now, Kelsey Vitalis trying to help her own cause. She is in line to win if the Golden Falcons can get 6 more outs. Golden Falcons pitcher ahead, 1-0. Looks at a strike, 1-1.
I love seeing when pitchers can give themselves run support.
1-1. Up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two one. Off the outside corner, 3-1. Once again, first base is open. Riel Kubala in the on-deck circle. And you said it, Sam, before that sacrifice fly. It has been a very taxing inning, and I make the point all the time. Pitches under duress are the ones that add up. As that's lined into left center field for an extra base hit. It rolls all the way to the wall. Into second base, standing is Vitalis with a big 2 RBI double as she puts Felician in front, 9-6.
Vitalis smoked that pitch to left center, and that's just what I was saying. When a pitcher can give themselves run support, that is truly beautiful. I'm sure Mets fans would love it if Jake DeGrom could have hit more often than he did when he pitched.
It was always a pleasure watching the pitchers hit in the old style of National League Baseball. I'm still a bit salty that it's no longer the case, as that's popped up and caught by Kaylee Carey.
And I have a fun story about that when we come back.
All right. Bit of a cliffhanger as we head to break. The Golden Falcons lead the Dolphins 9-6. And we're back from the CSI Softball Complex, where you promised us a good story, Sam, so let us have it.
Of course. Well, You remember when pitchers could hit. It wasn't that long ago.
No, not that long.
I
Was it
had
5 years? 4 or no?
4.
4 or 5?
4?
Yeah.
I think it was 2022 or 21. I'm not totally sure. We had season tickets at Petco Park. And maybe some of you have seen this clip, but Max Scherzer is pitching for the Nationals at home, right? Against the Padres. And bases loaded, up comes Padres reliever Daniel Camarena, just called up from AAA for his first Major League at-bat ever. He's in relief earlier in the game because the Nationals have gotten out to an 8-0 lead.
Okay.
Camarena on the second pitch hits a grand slam to right field.
A grand slam?
Off Max Scherzer. And I think that's the last home run a pitcher ever hit.
Oh, wow.
In MLB. And I was right where the ball landed.
But you didn't catch that one.
No. But the Padres did come back from down 8-0 and win.
Won? Well,
it was amazing.
Same old Nationals. As there's a nice play over at third to snag that line drive by De La Vega.
Quick reflexes. That's the hot corner.
We said that earlier in the game. That will bring up Gianna Lopez.
Lopez 2 hits already today. Looking to get something started here for the Dolphins, who need to come back now down 6-9.
She has swung the bat well early in this season as that one is top foul off of her shin. 0-1.
Daniel Camarena also grew up in San Diego.
Hometown hero. Is he still in the majors?
No.
Well, he'll always have that moment and the distinction of perhaps being the last pitcher to hit a home run.
I'm sure it'll happen again.
What was the last relief pitcher to hit a home run before that? I'm
Do
sure.
you know the answer?
I don't.
I've got no clue.
I wonder if we could Google that.
If you know the answer, phone in.
Trivia question. Email joseph.foreman@csi.cuny.edu with your answer.
Too many dots.
Yeah. I always found our work emails a bit awkward. 2-1 the count on Lopez. That's grounded to short. Throw to first in time, and there are 2 away in the home 6th.
Well, Vitalis is doing her thing. She's keeping that lead. She has pitched great in relief today for Felician.
3 1/3 now, and the only batters to reach against her have reached on 3 walks. She's yet to allow a hit.
A no-hitter, you said?
Well, not quite. She didn't start the game.
Her individual performance, let's say.
One might say that she has a relief no-hitter going. Let's see if we can shun our nicknames. If Warner gets a hit here, Sam, that would be something special.
A shame.
Well, you're a bit biased. Me, not so much. 2-0 the count on Warner. We are drawing very near to the 2-hour mark in this game. I could count the 2-hour games that we had last season on one hand, as that's grounded to third. And the throw to first retires Warner and the Dolphins in the 6th. We head to the 7th with Felician looking for some insurance. They lead Staten Island by 3. Our score, the Golden Falcons 9 and the Dolphins 6. And we are back for the 7th inning from the CSI softball complex. Marielle Belanze, the batter, and she fouls the first pitch back off
No
of
flinch.
railing number 1. You learn quickly. It's a good thing I'm the only one who saw you flinch. If anyone else had seen that, that would have been...
I'm surprised you saw it because I didn't feel like I moved much at all.
You're in my peripheral vision, and I have a hawk eye for the flinching.
No punches handed out.
Blooper on the infield, caught by Smith.
She got jammed. Great pitch by Ruth.
That ball got to Smith so quickly, I didn't get the camera switch in.
Now batting the second baseman, number 24, Allison Wall.
Allison Walling will be the batter. Walling 0 for 2 at the plate. Well, if you're Kennedy Ruth and the Dolphins, you're hoping to keep this deficit right where it is and give your team a chance to get even or perhaps win it in the 7th. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Dolphins when they come to bat in the bottom half.
That's who you want. For the Dolphins, they have hit. Look at that off speed. Oh, man. That dropped right in.
Crossed high, arrived at the letters maybe. 2-0 the count on Walling. And that misses low for ball 3.
Very unforgiving zone today for Ruth.
I like that. Not the unforgiving zone part, the use of the colorful adjective, as that's grounded to short. Carries throw in time, and Walling is out number 2. One might say, in the words of Sam Whalen, it's been agonizing. Nick still repeats that, by the way.
Love it. Here's DeBont looking to turn it back over, maybe get a 2-out rally going here for Felician.
DeBont 2 for 3. Takes high, ball 1. The 1-0. Line the other way, and Bourne is forced to play it on a hop. It's a 2-out hit for Caitlin DeBont, her 3rd of the game. And that will send the top of the order to bat. Hannah Ramirez, the leadoff hitter, to the plate for Felician.
Well, this could be a nightmare situation for Ruth. Ramirez works counts. She has a walk and a hit by pitch. Diaz is up next, and then you got Torres, known power hitter.
That pitch sails high, ball 1, and I think with DeBont's speed, it's only a matter of time before she tries to swipe second. 1-0. Grounded to 3rd. Sliding stop. Lopez. Her throw right on target. And that will do it for Felician in the top half of the 7th inning. Dolphins trail by 3 down to their final 3 outs. CSI comes to bat, hoping to get even or perhaps win it in the home 7th inning.
Vitalis back in for the home 7th. She is looking to close out her phenomenal relief outing with a win. First pitch, down the middle for a ball.
Or thereabouts. 1-0 the count on Bridget Motley. Motley 1 for 3. Inside for ball 2.
It's going to be Motley, Morris, Judson here, all 3 with hits in this game. Do the Dolphins have some late game magic in them?
And Motley looks at a strike, 2-1.
Gets the call on that outside corner frame.
The 2-1. Popped up just beyond first. And it is caught on the back pedal by Kubala for the first out.
Quick first out, and unfortunately, usually it's that first at-bat that sets the tone for the inning. A change is made.
They are re-entering Abby Morris.
Which I predicted, apparently.
Just have to pass along a note to our statisticians. Back in 5 seconds. Joe Foreman and Sam Whalen back with you. Had to pass a note along to the stats desk as the first pitch to Abby Morris misses up and away for ball 1.
That pitch wide open to the other batter's box. Trying to get it down a little bit.
It
flew on her for sure.
If Morris was a lefty, she'd be on first base right now. And the 1-0 catches the corner, or at least I thought it was a verbal strike call.
He made the verbal call, it sounded like, but did not give the signal. Maybe he forgot.
Well, was it a ball or a strike? Goes up as a ball.
I think it was a ball.
Line drive right side, played on one hop at second, and Morris is retired for the second out.
Dolphins down to their final chance here.
That will bring up Taryn Judson. Last chance for the Dolphins in a 3-run ball game. First pitch on the way, bounce toward the middle. Played it short, and Judson is retired to end the ball game. Felician comes from behind to knock off the Dolphins in game 1 of today's non-conference doubleheader. Our final score, the Golden Falcons 9 and the Dolphins 6. Game 2 set to begin at approximately 4:25. So we will rejoin you at that time. Sam, final thoughts on game 1.
Well, started off strong and sort of just gradually lost it. I'd say MVP of the game, Vitalis for Felician. Came in, shut the Dolphins offense down, and scored some runs.
Vitalis earns the win in relief. The Dolphins drop game 1 to Felician University. One more to come here on CSI Sportsnet, streaming exclusively on Flow College. We expect to begin at approximately 4:25 or 4:30 p.m. Be sure to stay tuned to this live stream, and we will rejoin you on headset for the start of game number 2. Live from the CSI Softball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you back in to NCAA Division II softball coverage. Game 2 of today's non-conference doubleheader underway with a strike as the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Felician University Golden Falcons. Joe Foreman rejoining you on the call alongside Sam Whalen for the second game of today's non-conference doubleheader. Golden Falcons won game 1 by a final score of 9-6. As that pitch is fouled away And it's quickly 0-2 on Hannah Ramirez.
Glad to be back for this second game. Thanks for having me again, Joe.
We had a good time calling game one. The Dolphins led in that game, but could not hold on as they drop the front half of today's doubleheader. Marina Grenier on the mound for the Dolphins. We're over. Nick wins. In the circle. They got me. Grounder left side. Throw across the diamond in time. The question is, was Nick listening to hear me say it?
Say what?
Good answer. I knew there's a reason I hired you. Steph
Quick
won't
first
tell us.
out.
Our secret's safe with Steph.
What secret? I don't know what you're talking about.
Gabriela Diaz, the batter. I think I did that to open the second game of the doubleheader last time we were on the air, too. Want to know the count on Diaz.
Grenier in the circle with a 5.35 ERA on the season, 4 complete games. Like Ruth, she'll probably be looking to go for the whole game.
She's missed with 2 straight to Diaz, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. In there for a called strike, 2-1. Oh, I think he was listening, Sam.
Oh, no.
He got me. He just tuned in. I almost had it. Swing and a miss by Diaz, 2-2.
You know, if we probably glanced over it, I think we would have been fine, but he probably heard you talk about it and rewinded.
Yeah, maybe. So the over on times mound was mistakenly said instead of circle. Over a half. Nick had the over, I had the under. Nick wins. Which means I owe him an order of wings, maybe, from our great sponsor, Buffalo Wild Wings. Full count on Diaz. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Grenier. And there's 2 gone in the road first inning.
Diaz swung right through that one. And now here is Torres, who had, I believe, a 3-run homer.
An opposite field 3-run homer.
Almost off the scoreboard. Some crazy power here. But no one on.
Grounder hit foul, 0-1. We said it during game one, this the exact situation where you'd like to face the big bats, base is empty. Even better if there are 2 outs. The 1 in there for a called strike, 0-2.
Also got to acknowledge the amount of 2-out rallying Felician did last game.
Nick said that me mistakenly saying the mound is the first thing he heard when tuning in. As that one's bounced foul now.
Of course it was.
They're trying to correct the count. It is 0-2.
That ball is very stubborn on the scoreboard.
They got it eventually. The thing is, we are linked to the scoreboard there, so our audience has the same count as the venue, as that misses outside.
Well, there's that outside call. Not really attempted to be framed there, though.
One and 2. Outside once again, 2-2.
That one a little further. Joseph behind the dish.
Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Golden Falcons designated player. Grenier 1 strike away from a clean first inning. And again, it's sent down the line well foul and out of play.
Had the distance.
I did not think that ball was hit that far off the bat, Sam.
Like we said earlier, check that flag in left field.
Count remains 2-2. Chopper left side. Carry there, and her throw is not in time. Torres beats out an infield single, and the inning continues with a 2-out base runner.
Love to see that hustle from Torres. Not usually one to sprint, but she beat it out.
There's one more look at it quickly. Close play at first, but Torres was in there. And now Karina De La Vega comes to bat with a runner on, 2 gone in the inning. She's ahead 1-0. One out. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Will we see Torres' first steal attempt of the season?
Be inclined to say probably not. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. I think when you're looking at a player who's not typically a base stealer, I'm looking to steal when you expect maybe a waste pitch, but on 0 and 2, they could also waste them with a pitch out and get you. So you have to be careful as Joseph keeps that one in front of her. That one sailed way outside and upstairs. Two and 2 the count. That's fouled off again. Off the light fixture.
Huh.
We had one of those last doubleheader as well.
Was that in the wide shot? Probably not.
No. You get the 2 columns to our left and our right in the wide shot. And that one's lined the other way, but foul.
That was a laser. Just a bit late. De La Vega working a great count so far.
She had a similar at bat late in the early game as well. I believe she ended up with a base hit on a full count. 2-2. Line the other way and past the diving Morris and into right field. It's another 2-out hit for Felician. And they have runners on first and second with 2 away.
Well, that one's similar to the foul ball, just timed it up better. Almost another diving stop.
Kelsey Vitalis, the batter, winning pitcher in game 1 with a chance to put her team ahead with a base hit here in game 2. She drove in a couple in that early game as well with a 2-run double. That made it 9-6 and really gave her the extra breathing room that she needed on her way to a win. 0-1 the count. And there's a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Very late.
Green, you're ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. This next pitch will be number 27. The 0-2. Up high, 1-2. One, two. Off another support column in the backstop.
Let's take a second to look where the other umpire is currently stationed. Is that where you'd be standing? Because it looks like with a righty.
Well, actually, you could have seen it on the in-tight shot. Well, I think you have to be between second and third for the lead runner. If there was a play at third on an attempted steal.
Yeah, I guess it's just
You
a
have
weird
to be
setup
there.
with only 2 umpires.
Well, that's what it is. It's the fact that with 2 umpires, you're really pigeonholed into one spot where you can be. You have to be between second and third for a play there. As that one's popped up. So on a play where there's going to be, let's say, a ground ball, I guess you would, there's an extra softball in the field, but you would know instinctively when the ball is hit where it's likely going to go, but there certainly has to be a set rotation for a ball hit on the infield. And Grenier has the strikeout. As the Golden Falcons strand 2, Vitalis down swinging to end the top half of the first inning. Dolphins come to bat for the first time in game 2 when we return. No score between Felician and Staten Island. Presley Bourne will lead off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the first inning. And that one is lofted in the air, caught in center field for the first out in the bottom half of inning number 1. Very quickly, 1 through 9, both lineups on the side of Felician. Ramirez, Diaz, Torres, De La Vega, Vitalis, Kubala, Alice, Walling, and DeBont. On the side of the Dolphins, Bourne, Lopez, Warner, Judson, Morris, Joseph, Carey, Acosta, and Del Masto. And once again, first pitch swinging are the Dolphins, and just running out of room along the fence is Kubala.
If that fence were a bit shorter, I think she's catching that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Not every player out there on the field would have been able to reach over as she did, but maybe even another half a second or another second to get there and get set makes the difference on that one. It's a foul ball. First pitch for Lopez, and a foul ball on the second pitch as well. 0-2.
Back out in the circle, Moody for Felician. Obviously the game 1 starter. Is that how this works? You just go 2 games in a row like that?
Not always. I think when you're limited in terms of how many pitchers you have, you can see it. If you have one arm that you're supremely confident in, you see it then sometimes. It's a must-win game. Sometimes you'll see a team run their ace out there twice, but I think it's a matter of her coming out of the game relatively early in game 1. They run her back out for game 2, and that one grounded to the left side, scooped up at short, and Lopez is the second out of the inning, but it could be a situation where Moody begins the game, and if things don't go well, you always have Vitalis who can go back to the circle. I don't think she threw too many pitches. We can check that pitch count in just a moment. You'll have that on our website momentarily, but I don't think the pitch count was too extreme, so you could realistically have her come on for some outs late in the game if necessary. That pitch fouled straight back by Olivia Warner, 0-1.
Checking that pitch count now.
I think it's all the way at the end of the stat line with the scroll all the way to the right.
I thought I brought the first game up, but it's not showing.
That is taken high, so you have to go to the schedule and click the box score icon, not the live stats icon. So you go right there. Oh, we didn't upload it yet.
No, I think I need to refresh. Yeah.
I knew better. We definitely didn't miss an upload. Steph is all over it. She's like, that game is very much there. Yeah, so if you scroll down pitch counts at the end there.
58.
58. So no
More than
doubt she
Moody.
could work again. 2-1 to Warner is low for ball 3.
Moody threw 53 in 2 1/3. Vitalis obviously finished the game 4 2/3, 58 pitches. Very efficient.
Now, I don't know if you'll have pitch counts on the game log, but to put pitch count into perspective a bit for you, if you go and look at the CSI stats for the season, you can go to either Kennedy Ruth or Marina Greenier's individual stats, go to the game-by-game breakdown. So you click the name there and then full bio, and it'll bring up all of their stats from this year. As that's hit out to right center field for an extra base hit. Warner will have to stop it first. That was cut off well in the gap, and Sam, they had her played very deep, and it took away the double.
Yeah, great outfield defense. Something we couldn't really say game 1. Limiting Warner to a single there.
I'm curious if they have the game-by-game, pitch-by-pitch. I'm going to check right now. Taryn Judson, the batter here, and she takes inside 1-0. Okay.
Yeah, you just have to go to the specific game.
And it's quickly 2-0 on Judson. I would actually expect to see it here, Sam, but they don't have it. At least not for this game. They do have it for these. So for Kennedy Ruth this year, she's thrown over 100 pitches in each of her last 4 outings. 108 today, 106, 144, and 140.
Wow, 140.
140 plus in back-to-back outings. And it's now 3-1 on Judson.
They are not getting that low and in strike call. Some Felician fans behind us letting the ump hear it.
3-1. Inside for ball 4. Dolphins now with 2 on and 2 outs. Abby Morris to the plate with a chance to give CSI the lead.
Now batting to second baseman, number 20, Abby Morris.
Morris comes into this game hitting .375.
First pitch on the way. In off the fists, and it bounces foul.
Dolphins are pressuring again in the first inning like they did in game 1.
The 0-1 on the way. And Morris grounds it toward the left side and off the glove of the third baseman, De La Vega. That will allow Warner to score from second. And the Dolphins go in front 1-0.
And that should be an error. Warner, great base running, never stopped running.
I think it could be an infield hit, but an error allowing the run to score. What do you think?
No comment.
No?
No clue.
Going to run it back quickly here.
Here's Joseph with 2 outs. Runners on first and second.
I would probably call that an error. I think that's a play you make. And I think if you make the play cleanly, you get the out at second.
That's what it looked like in real time.
Yeah, I think that's an error. It wasn't hit hard. Rose Joseph now ahead 2-0. Dolphins with an early 1-run lead for the second straight game and a chance for more.
Three and 0.
It's now 3-0 on Joseph.
Somebody else out there, coach. Automatic, boys, automatic. Come on, Josh.
3-0. In for a strike, 3-1.
Just clipped that inside corner. I like that take, though.
Nick agrees with us, and I agree with you. I like that take as well. You have to with 2 on. Swing and a miss there. Joseph may have gotten a piece of it.
She did. I heard it.
But Nick agrees. Error on that infield chopper. Pop up on the infield. And Vitalis has it at short to turn aside the Dolphins' threat. However, the Dolphins do cash in for a run on the Golden Falcons' error. They strand a pair, and we head to the second. CSI leads Felician 1-0. Staten Island 1 and Felician 0, our score entering the top half of the second inning. Leading things off for the Golden Falcons in the second, Brielle Kubala. First pitch from Marina Grenier, low and away, ball 1.
Kubala came into the last game hitting 289. She comes into this game hitting 289.
And that one is fouled back into the netting, 2-0, or I should say 1-1. I don't know how a ball went up there.
Struggling over there.
Ron Burgundy, the outfield scoreboard.
Speaking of Ron Burgundy, flying home to San Diego on Sunday. 1 week.
How long you there?
About a week and a half, spring break.
And then back for the season, the outdoor season?
Of course.
We'll have to run some of your highlights during the pregame.
I don't know if I have any highlights.
That's it out to straightaway right, and it was misjudged in the air. It lands in front of Bourne, and that's going to be a bloop single off the bat of Kaylee Alice.
Well, Morris went out to try and maybe get it, but I think that was Bourne's ball all the way. She just misread it, I guess.
We'll make that a single for Kubala. Alice, the batter here.
Would have been a tough play regardless.
Yeah. Steph is so good, she advanced the batter before I could get to the lineup screen. Sam.
I flinched.
Sam.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Got to punch me for that one.
I don't punch. I just fire people.
I wasn't locked in.
You really got to lock in. The 0-1. Taken high. I think the day that I became unflappable was the day where a ball hit the metal backstop, which was covered in plastic over the metal railing, and a piece of the plastic lodged in my cheekbone. As that's hit well to right, Bourne contending with the sun makes the catch. Holding it first is Kubala, and there's one away in the inning.
See, that seems like a reason to shield yourself when a ball comes towards you, not to become unflappable.
Well, I realized if plastic lodged in my face can't hurt me, nothing can.
That's powerful.
Words of wisdom. Every once in a while, you'll get a nugget of wisdom from this broadcast. First pitch taken out of the zone by Allison Walling, ball 1.
Looked like a good pitch.
Nick says to lock in. He's still watching.
Sorry, Nick.
He knows his job is safe now. He breathes a sigh of relief.
Every broadcast, I've managed to do something that gives Nick his job back.
Yeah. Count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, Grenier misses up and away.
Walling hitting just 139 after that first game.
2-1. Off the support column yet again.
That happens very often.
I think the reason why is because the net in the backstop has so much give that it funnels toward the corners. So when the ball hits the net, it rides down to the corner and hits the column. As that ball is hit into left center field, and it falls for another Golden Falcons hit. 4th hit of the game for Felician. They now have 2 on with just 1 out here in the 2nd.
Walling, nice easy swing. Strokes it right to the gap. Not too hard, doesn't get anywhere near the wall. Pass the baton, as they say.
Caitlin DeBont at the plate, takes a strike, 0-1. DeBont had a 3-hit game 1, batting out of the number 9 spot in the order. Batting 9th once again here in game 2. Chopper over Grenier's glove, only play us to first, and DeBont is out.
Well, that's a good play by the second baseman, Morris. It's a real possibility. If she doesn't hustle on that ball, there's no outs on that play. And I want to ask a question here. Do you intentionally walk here to get the force out?
Absolutely not. And the reason why is that it's far too easy to score on the wild pitch past ball. You have the walk that could force home a run. There's so much that could go wrong. But I get where you're coming from to set up a force. I think that force is very valuable depending on the batter. I think you're more inclined to think about that if you have a major speed threat at the plate. It is the leadoff hitter, Hannah Ramirez, batting. And very quickly, she's ahead 2-0. Now, am I ultra aggressive here? Do I feel like I have to throw a strike? No, I don't.
And I did mention earlier, Ramirez, 1 to work the count.
Well, it's 3-0 now. And maybe you're onto something, Sam. It doesn't look like they've really had any interest in giving her anything to hit.
If I'm the Dolphins, I'm perfectly fine with pitching next to Diaz with the bases loaded.
Well, that pitch gave no indication that they were content with a walk. It's 3-1 now. (3-1) misses, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Well, you need this out for sure because on deck is Kimberly Torres.
The 2 big bats are coming up behind Diaz. You're right, Sam. This is the out you have to have. Of course, if you don't get it, best case, the game is tied. Worst case, you fall behind with 2 big bats looming. And there's a big first pitch strike from Grenier, 0-1.
Right at the knees. Saw that called a ball earlier.
Grenier did strike out Diaz in her first plate appearance. The 0-1. High and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
As Don Orsillo would say, it's party time.
And as Joe Foreman would say, it's 2-1.
That was a good one.
I try.
Get it? Because you're Joe Foreman?
Yeah. You know, we are a 2-man stand-up crew here. And the 2-1 was well out of the zone, and Diaz chased. It's now 2-2.
We are sitting on a bench.
Yes, not literally standing. You get it? Because Sam thought I meant that literally. The 2-2 popped up, but out of play over the Golden Falcons dugout.
I got that joke.
I think once you have to explain it, it's lost.
I think that's the funny part is explaining it.
Well,
But
I think the funny part is how corny we are. The 2-2. Hit out to right center. Long run for the center fielder, Del Masto, but she gets there. And that will do it for Felician in the road second inning. The Golden Falcons strand the bases loaded, and it remains a 1-0 Staten Island lead.
up to bat for the Dolphins to start this inning, Kaylee Carey takes a first pitch ball low and inside.
All right, Sam, I have done some more due diligence regarding programming later in the week. By my understanding, we were given the option, do we play at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. on Thursday night? It looks like it's going to be 7.
Wow.
And the reason for that is that we will have a larger crew if we play at 7. So
That's pretty late.
it's looking like a 7 o'clock Thursday night baseball game. For the first time ever, Thursday night baseball on CSI Sportsnet. I don't think we've ever covered a game at the Division II level that started at 7, with the exception of Heroes Day at the Ferry Hawks. I don't think we had another 7 p.m. game. I could be mistaken, but if there was another, I don't remember it.
The Ferry Hawks game, was I there for that?
I don't think so. It was Heroes Day at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park, and Kaylee Carey gives one a ride out to center, but she got just a bit under it as the catch is made in deep left center field by Ramirez for the first out.
I know I did one game at SIUH.
Yeah. You know what? That might have been a night game.
I think it was. It was very dark.
Actually, you know what? Did I call in at the end?
Yeah.
I did? That's when I was in Florida, so
Yep.
I missed that game.
Yeah, that was the one.
That would be the last
Durst and
non-Heroes
Bavona
Day
were on that.
game. Yep. First pitch to Alyssa Acosta in for a strike, 0-1.
Missed it, but Carey gave that one a ride. That carried a lot.
The wind swirling out in left field. It's not an exceptionally windy day here, but enough to get that flag moving. And looking at it right now, the wind is blowing from right to left.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Tried to frame that one. Not quite.
Ooh, Nick does not like a 7 o'clock start.
Are we taking the bus, too?
Well, there's not going to be a we, Sam. If I work the game. Unless Nick wants to stay home. But no, we would drive. Not enough room for all of us on the bus.
I had thought you said you weren't going to that one, and that's why
Well,
I
my
thought
game is
maybe.
Wednesday, not Thursday.
Got it.
I thought it was Thursday. Every other game's been Thursday. 3-1. Misses for ball 4. And Acosta draws the 1-out walk. So with that addition to the schedule now, we have softball against Holy Family on Tuesday at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Baseball tentatively scheduled for Thursday and Sunday, potentially at 7 p.m. on Thursday, Sunday to be determined. Julia Del Masto, the batter now, showing bunt, gets out of the way of that pitch, 1-0.
Del Masto comes into today hitting 143. Only
Also,
2 hits on the season.
Also, how could I forget, while we have baseball on Thursday and Sunday, softball returns to the College of Staten Island on Saturday. So conference play opens next week, and the Dolphins host their conference opener 6 days from now. And Del Masto takes a strike on the low inside corner. Yeah, I'm with you, Sam.
That was a ball.
Sam, I have to admit, I disagree with that call. Chopper left side. They'll go to second for 1, and no chance for 2.
Well, on the pitch before, Felician was trying to argue that she didn't pull back her bunt in time, so I guess they were just giving that strike back.
Well, that's one way to provide a makeup call, I guess. Presley Bourne, the batter. Bourne 0 for 1. And first pitch is fouled away.
Del Masto on first. 1 steal, 1 attempt on the season.
I think there's a good chance that she tries to run here. Now's that time. 2 outs. If you don't get it, you begin the next inning with the top of the order. You can live with that. There she goes. Throw to second. Not in time.
Speed.
Foresight. Get it? Because my name's Foreman.
Oh.
I thought of that after I said it. But it works. Don't sound so impressed.
Nick, did you like that one? Probably not.
1-1. Looped foul and into the Dolphins bullpen.
De La Vega ran for it. It was over the fence.
That padding a bit more forgiving than the original fence. And Bourne asks for time.
Wow. The fans behind us are getting a look from the players.
Chopper to short. Throw to first. Just in time. Throw to the plate. Goes to the backstop. The Dolphins thought that Bourne was safe, and we are going to get another look at that one. So I am going to reserve judgment for the replay.
I think she was safe, but it was very close.
All right, let's see. We were 1 for 2 over here on calls at first base in game 1. Probably could have moved this forward a bit. Sam, it's not close. She was safe. We're now 2 for 3. And the Dolphins' lead remains 1 run. We head to break. Staten Island 1, Felician nothing. Top half of the third inning about to get underway, as that is lined to left and caught.
One pitch, one out.
And one more look at that last play. The last play before break. Nick weighing in from home said he thought the call should have been safe.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, no question. There's a quick one pitch out against Kimberly Torres. You'll take that all game long if you're Marina Grenier.
That out was a laser, too.
It was a hard hit ball, but if you can get her on one pitch, doesn't matter how you do it. 2-0 count now on Karina De La Vega. 2-0. Hit well deep to left center. Back goes Del Masto, and it's off the top of the fence. It rolls away into shallow center. The throw coming into third is a bit wide of the bag, and De La Vega slides in with a one-out triple.
Tell you what, I thought that was gone off the bat. I'm surprised that one didn't carry as much, but I guess that's the deepest part of the yard, and she just hit it off the top of the wall.
A long triple that took a fortuitous bounce right off the padding. You said it, Sam, off the bat. There was plenty on that ball. As the first pitch is taken up and away by Kelsey Vitalis, 1-0.
Now, if Grenier can prevent that run from scoring, that would be huge.
Tough task against the dangerous part of the order in a one-run game.
All Felician needs is a fly ball to the outfield.
Dolphins with the corners playing in just a bit. Judson more so at first than Lopez at third. And that misses high, 2-1. The 2-1. Line to center and played on a hop by Del Masto. That base hit will tie the game. It's an RBI single for Kelsey Vitalis, her second RBI hit of the day. And we're all knotted up at one.
Felician lineup is really piecing these balls up. Lots of hard contact so far this game. Does not bode well.
That ball was smoked. Here's one more look at it. Thought that one might hang up there for Del Masto in center field, but it came down in front of her. Runner going. Throw to second. On a hop, not in time. Stolen base for Vitalis. And now Brielle Kubala has a 2-0 count with a runner in scoring position.
Vitalis gets her second steal on the season.
That one fouled back as we get one more look at that last play at second base.
It looked like Joseph maybe wasn't prepared for a steal there.
If the throw came in on a fly, I think they had a play, but no chance on the hop. And that's hit sharply on the ground. Carey goes to third, and Lopez applies the tag.
Oh, wow.
What was the call?
Out of the baseline is what he said. I thought he tagged her, but he said out of the baseline, and
I thought the batter. I thought first.
They will now appeal to the home plate umpire
That a tag had been applied. We'll get a look at it on replay.
He gave the call that they were out of the baseline.
We're going to have two angles. I don't think she was out of the baseline.
I don't either.
Let's see. All right, replay here.
Wow.
Bring the UAV, bring the UAV. Walk it. Go out.
I think she was tagged out regardless, Sam.
I thought she was tagged out as well, but the official call is that she was out of the baseline, and they've confirmed this.
All right, so let's get a look from the tighter angle.
The runner's still on third base, by the way. She's out.
Here's another look from the other angle. You said it, Sam. The call is out of the baseline. If so, that is a very, very strict baseline.
Yo, sidekick. Can you help? He's being disrespectful. Why is he still on third base?
Not really much clarity. This is the better angle.
Yo, sidekick, get your boss, yo. There we go. Jeez. Good spit.
Not a call that I think was necessary, Sam. I think the batter was out anyway, or the runner was out. The batter is safe at first. And there's a line drive into center field for a base hit. First pitch swinging was Kaylee Alice. And the inning continues with 2 on and 2 outs.
Felician keeps smoking them. Seems like everything they make contact with just comes flying off the bat.
Another hard hit ball, and I think another concerning part of it, Sam, is that a lot of these have been rocket shots right back where they came from, up the middle.
Well, that's what the face mask is for, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Allison Walling, the batter, takes out of the zone 1-0.
Okay, so that was weird because I heard a loud noise come from the umpire, but it was a ball. So, yeah, never mind.
The 1-0 chopped foul. Walling 1 for 1. Base hit here would give Felician the lead in all likelihood. But you know what happens when you assume. We've done a lot of that this season. The 1-1 taken low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1. Low for ball 3.
Well, Walling not forcing anything here, not pressing. She can keep doing what Felician's been doing, is just pass the baton.
Caitlin DeBont would be next. 3 and 1. Hit the other way, but foul. And out of play in the right field corner.
More contact. Really not a lot of swing and miss from Greenier today.
That put-away pitch has been the problem. She can get swings and misses, but that third strike has been elusive. And the payoff pitch misses low for ball 4 to load the bases.
Well, here comes DeBont, Game 1 superstar.
DeBont to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a tie game. Dolphins and Golden Falcons even at 1. And DeBont looks at a strike, 0-1. DeBont 0 for 1 here in game 2 after a 3-hit game 1. And the 0-1 is off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I like that pitch. Maybe get him to chase. You can't keep laying it in there because from what we've seen, Felician's just going to smack it.
The 1-1 is high for ball 2. There's a big pitch here. If you go behind 3 and 1, that's a tough hole to climb out of, and that's exactly what happens.
What do you think she throws next? I think you got to go fastball.
You have to go after her. You have to go after her. It's the number 9 hitter. You have to go after her, and you have 8 gloves out there. Looked like she tried to attack the outer half, Sam.
Party time.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count on DeBont. Nowhere to put her, tie game in the top half of the 3rd inning. 3-2 toward the middle. And taking it over to second is Morris for the force out. And the Golden Falcons strand the bases loaded. Greenier escapes a big-time jam. And the Golden Falcons will settle for just 1. We are even, 1 run per side, headed to the home 3rd inning. Gianna Lopez will lead off for the Dolphins here in the road third, and she lines a base hit down the left field line and into the corner. Lopez into second base, standing with a leadoff double, and the Dolphins have the go-ahead run in scoring position to begin the home third inning.
First pitch swinging, first pitch crushing, almost caught. Squeaks by, and Lopez with the triple in the first game. Gets around to second, but when you hit it to left field like that, chances of getting a triple are pretty low. Here comes Warner.
First pitch to Olivia Warner, low and inside, ball one. Warner 1 for 1 here in game 2. And she hits one deep to left center. That's headed toward the wall and out of here. It's a 2-run homer for Olivia Warner. And that puts the Dolphins back in front. It's 3-1 Staten Island.
What a time for your first home run of the season to take the lead. That one carried. Been saying it all day.
First home run of the season for Olivia Warner. As we get one more look at that big swing, she tucked it over the wall and under the left center field scoreboard. Dolphins lead it by 2. And Taryn Judson comes to the plate with the bases empty and nobody out. First pitch to Judson, in for a strike, 0-1.
Outside corner. That's that pitch we're talking about.
Judson walked her first time up. And the 0-1's taken outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. In there for a called strike, 1-2.
I don't know who George with a J is.
Wouldn't that be Jorge?
Oh.
The 1-2. Popped up. Shallow left field, and ranging back to make the catch from the shortstop position was Vitalis. Two gone here in the home third inning, as that one is fouled straight back by Abby Morris, 0-1. Morris 0 for 1 here in game 2.
Wow, do you feel that? As soon as that home run landed, the wind switched.
Quite the breeze.
Blowing in.
Perfect weather for March softball, though. We had warm afternoon hours, and it's not cold here in the evening, but you can definitely feel the temperature dropping just a bit. If it stayed just like this, perfect. There's a dribbler foul, and it's 0-2 on Morris.
I would argue it was better when it was warmer.
Yeah, for me, I prefer it just like this because you can still feel the sun. I'm more in the sun than you are, I think. I think the bleachers are shading you a bit more than they're shading me. But there's enough sunlight. You're a California guy, though.
Yep. Can't wait to be back.
I'll have to take a trip out there at some point. During baseball season, we'll catch a Padres game in the summer, as that's chopped foul.
You got to come out before I go to Jersey.
You're moving to Jersey?
Nah, just lifeguard in the summer.
Ah. Well, I live in Jersey.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. It's worked better than New York for me. Sam, lock it. Sam's in timeout. Oh, boy. We'll turn his microphone off and give him a chance to think about what he's done. as the 0-2 misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Chopper left side. Backhanded by Vitalis, and a half-hearted throw there is not in time. Well, Sam has his headset off right now. He is not the first. Hopefully it is your last, but you are not the first.
Am I unmuted?
You were never muted.
I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air, and I'd like to take this chance to apologize for anyone who might have been offended by that comment. I sincerely apologize. I offer my deepest condolences.
So what we're going to do, Sam, I'm not going to hold it against you, but we're going to clip that apology, and we're going to run it with no context on the TV later in the week. 1-0. Grounded foul.
Did it get hotter in here?
This is for you from Nick.
I can't see it.
Big time glare on the streaming laptop.
Well, so much for me being on the
You're
CSI
okay.
Sports
You're
Net
okay.
page.
I admire the guts. I think you get on the page faster, honestly. And that is crushed to left field, but Joseph got under it. And the catch is made on the warning track. Morris back over to first.
If only there was a comment stream.
Well,
All the fans at home.
blink and you missed it. And it wasn't that loud.
Missed what? Anyway, like we said earlier, the wind shifted, and had it been blowing out, I think Joseph gets that over the fence. But it was just killed a little bit by the wind.
There's only one acceptable F word on this broadcast, and it's Foreman. That one fouled back. 0-1 is the count on Kaylee Carey. Got that runner reflected over at first base. I got a bit caught up in the moment there.
One F word that's definitely not accepted is flinch.
Very good.
And that's what I was apologizing for.
Yes. That's taken high. 1-1. The 1-1. Lined, base hit into left center field. Dolphins now have 2 on with 2 outs here in the home 3rd inning, as they will send Alyssa Acosta to the plate.
Well, are we seeing the start of a 2-out rally? Carey smokes that one.
Acosta walked in her first at-bat. Has a chance here to extend the Dolphins' lead with a base hit. And Acosta looks at a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Chopper towards short, and they'll flip it the short way to second for the force out, and the Dolphins will strand 2 in the 3rd inning. However, the Dolphins go in front 3-1 on a 2-run homer from Olivia Warner. That 2-run blast makes it a 3-1 ball game. The Dolphins lead entering the 4th. And we are back from the CSI softball complex, where I had to pass along some information. A bit late back to the commentary desk. Just one pitch, as that's fouled away. 1 strike the count on Hannah Ramirez, the Golden Falcons' leadoff hitter. Olivia Warner has given the Dolphins a 2-run lead with her home run in the previous half inning. That's hit well to the opposite field, toward the line, and Bourne won't get there. It rolls into the corner. Bourne tracks it down and gets it in quickly. That will hold Ramirez to a leadoff double.
Tough one, knocked down by the wind, just barely fair. I'm not sure anyone would have gotten to that one.
There's one more look at that extra base hit for Ramirez. She's now 1 for 2 in this game. And Gabriela Diaz will be the batter as she takes up and in ball 1.
Greenier continues her day of work, up to 84 pitches now. We expected her to still be in.
That one sent foul down the line and out of play.
George would have caught it. Back in his A days, right, George? Back in the good old days, George.
1-1 the count. And it's bunted at, and it rolls foul.
Good play by Joseph, letting it go foul.
I thought that almost hit Diaz. 1-2 the count on the Golden Falcons left fielder. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. And we have a chance for a spectator, but nobody wants it.
Nope. Heard the loud metal sound of the ball hitting.
I need to ask, Sam, if you had the chance in the stands, are you evading or are you trying to catch it?
Oh, I'm always going to try and catch it.
I
That's
agree.
the baseball player in me.
I mean, I haven't played since I was 10, but I'm still trying to catch it.
I mean, that's instincts, right? You see the ball in the air and you position yourself to catch it.
I agree. I can tell you the basketball players didn't want it. They got out of there quick.
That's not their job. They don't practice throwing basketballs straight up and catching them.
I guess not. 2-2 sails high, 3-2. Oh, misses for ball 4. And the Golden Falcons have 2 on with nobody out in the road 4th inning.
Just high, and now what you want to do right before Torres is up. No outs. First and second, we're going to have a meeting in the circle.
Joseph will converse with Greenier. Now, it's a shame we don't have our mixer with the option for a third headset. We have a third broadcaster here who's off shift. He's nodding. I think he's free.
We can get him on here in place of me.
I have another F word for you, Sam. Fired.
I don't know if I'll be putting on this headset again. Whether
No,
it's for the Dolphins or my bosses at CSI Sportsnet.
You will certainly be putting on the headset again. It's up to me. First pitch, swing and miss there by Kimberly Torres, 0-1.
As there is a strike.
Torres, as we know, a dangerous hitter, came up in a similar spot during game 1 and sent one over the left center field wall as she takes up and away.
Launched one, Oppo Taco. Looks like the wind is blowing out again. You check out that flag in left field.
1-1. Torres looking to bunt, sends it foul.
Now that
is shocking.
that is surprising.
Nobody finds them funny, right?
Top to bottom, the Golden Falcons have hit Greenier well in this game. So you put 2 in scoring position. Still shocked to see Torres look to bunt as that's fouled away.
Maybe catch the Dolphins a little off guard. I mean, we saw in the first inning she hustled a single out.
Behind Torres, De La Vega 2 for 2, Vitalis 1 for 2, Kubala 1 for 2, Alice 1 for 2, Walling 1 for 1. So you have a lot of production. As that's bounced back to Grenier. She goes to third for the out, and that is a good play by the Dolphins pitcher to get that lead runner.
I think that's the best possible outcome against Torres there. Great pitch by Grenier to get her to just chop one.
Certainly the right play from Grenier. And now she will look to get Karina De La Vega out for the first time in this game.
Just as dangerous.
There's a good first pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. Yo, 1. Swung on and missed, 0-2.
Did that drop? I think it did.
That's what I was talking about during game 1. If you have some velocity on a pitch that dips just enough, that is tough to hit. The 0-2, and that was a defensive cut as De La Vega sends it foul. The 0-2 on the way. Fouled off again.
Much more loud on that contact. Like we said, the put-away pitch just hasn't been there today.
It's been something we brought up more times than one covering Grenier starts. We saw something similar with Alexandra Frenza last year as well. Got ahead of plenty of hitters, did not have that put-away pitch. And there's a line drive into center field for a hit, and they will hold the runner at third. Diaz got the stop sign at the last possible moment, and the single by De La Vega loads the bases with Golden Falcons.
Another ball, loud contact, but I think it's good they held the runner at third because she would have been out had she started running home.
Well, they were working De La Vega away for much of that at bat. I expected them to try and come inside with 2 strikes, and I think that one just missed middle. Kelsey Vitalis, the batter, and she takes out of the zone 1-0.
Vitalis made her mark in game 1. She's got a chance to do the same here. Only 1 out. Bases are juiced.
This has been a true back-and-forth doubleheader between these two teams. 1-0 on the way. Fouled off. And the count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yo, George, that's you, George.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2.
Well, let's see if Grenier can put her away here. Need a strikeout.
1-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center. Deep enough to score a run. Del Masto makes the catch. And the throw is cut off by Judson as the Golden Falcons pull back to within a run. It's a sacrifice fly for Kelsey Vitalis, and it's now a 3-2 game.
Another good piece of hitting, just didn't quite get enough. And I think Felician will be making a sub of some sort here.
It's going to be a pinch hitter. Brielle Kubala called back to the Golden Falcons dugout.
Coming up is Cardell. Sienna Cardell, she's coming into today hitting 125.
Cardell got the start in game 1. Now bats with the tying run in scoring position, 2 outs here in the road 4th inning. And she takes low and away, ball 1. Felicia now with 9 hits in this game. The Dolphins with just 5. 1-0. Off the outside edge, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back.
if you're Greenier here, I don't think you even go for strikeouts anymore. I think you just need any sort of contact. In the air is fine.
And I think the concern now, Sam, especially in an inning like this with the lead on the line, is that the pitch count's beginning to pile up. As Greenier misses there with ball 3. I think we have her at 109. This next pitch will be 110.
Wow.
And she needs another 9 outs to complete this game. I don't know if you're going to get 9 more outs, including the final out of this inning. So make it 10, as that's fouled off the netting. And the count runs full, 3-2. Both runners will be in motion with 2 outs.
That throwback from Joseph almost sails over Greenier's head. That would have been bad.
That would have been 2 in scoring position, if not backed up. Payoff. Bounced into the glove of Greenier, and she gets the out at first. Greenier flashing the leather for the final out in the road 4th inning, and the Golden Falcons will settle for just 1 as the Dolphins maintain the lead. It's now 3-2 Staten Island. Dolphins come to bat in the bottom half when we come back. Home 4th inning underway with a base hit up the middle for Julia Del Masto. She takes a big turn at first, but will stop there with a leadoff base hit.
First pitch swinging. She's one to steal as well. It looks like we've got a pitching change.
And indeed we will. Pitching change for the Golden Falcons and a break for Sam and I. It is the Dolphins 3 and the Golden Falcons 2. CSI with a leadoff base runner in the home 4th inning. Presley Bourne to the plate for the Dolphins. CSI leads 3-2. And that pitch gets to the backstop. Sam flinches again. And Del Masto takes second. That's 4 flinches. We're joined by public address announcer, statistician, And numerology expert Joe Calabrese to my left. Field supervisor as well, that's right. He's off the clock, though. Gets a chance to take in the remainder of this doubleheader. So Joe didn't hear the news. We'll share again. Programming note for those just joining us. Programming note, Joe, listen in. We have Thursday night baseball coming up on CSI Sportsnet. We head to Spark Hill to cover the Dolphins and the Spartans on Thursday night. And then Sunday night baseball as well in Spark Hill. So 2 night games coming up later in the week. 2 separate trips, as that is off the glove of Kylie Dressel, the new Golden Falcons pitcher. Bourne is safe. Del Masto to third, and the Dolphins have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Well, this is a nightmare situation for Dressel. She comes in with a 1.2 ERA in 11 2/3 innings of work, but not the ideal start, and there are 0 outs. The Dolphins could definitely string this along.
Gianna Lopez to the plate with runners on the corners. And there goes Bourne, no throw. And the Dolphins now have 2 in scoring position for arguably one of their hottest hitters. No relief in the on-deck circle either with the base open. Olivia Warner on deck. It's a tough spot to inherit if you're Kylie Dressel. And she's now behind Lopez, 2-0. Dressel comes in, as you mentioned, with a 1.2 ERA, a 1.29 whip. 6 appearances, 1 start, 11 2/3, 13 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 47 opposing batters hitting .277 against her. Her longest outing of the season is 3 innings. To get the rest of the way in this game, she'll need more than that. In order to win, she'd have to go at least 4. And Lopez hits one out to straightaway center. It is caught just shy of the warning track. Into scores Del Masto. And the Dolphins now have a 2-run lead again. It's 4-2 Staten Island.
Another deep drive. I think Felician brought Dressel in as a high leverage piece. Hasn't worked out so far. Still threatening here with Warner, who obviously hit the home run earlier.
Warner to the plate, coming off that home run, and
that was a pitch out.
They're walking her. They're walking her, Sam.
Are you not allowed to intentionally walk?
Apparently not at the college level. You have to throw the pitches. I don't think we've ever seen an intentional walk in a softball game. And they do throw behind the runner at second.
That pitch was awfully close to the strike zone. I think if Warner wanted to, she could have taken a hack.
Sam, I agree. I'm going to capture a replay on it. Let's see how close. I don't think it was that close. Following the 4th ball, we'll replay it. Intentional walk issued to Warner. Dolphins with 2 on. Sam, here's a look at that pitch.
Now batting the first baseman, number 35.
Maybe I'm seeing things.
I have to admit, I thought the same thing you did when it came in. Jalen Martinez going to run for Warner over at first. Taryn Judson coming to the plate with 1 away here in the home 4th inning. Judson in game 2 is 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch on the way. Right down the middle, 0-1. And they have to be careful.
Almost gets away into center field.
It almost gets away. Your pitcher had her back to the plate.
There's no mask on the back of that head.
That ball almost bent around Dressel. 0-1. Hit sharply to second, and they will turn the double play. And the Dolphins will settle for just 1 here in the 4th inning. CSI now leads 4-2 as we head to the fifth from the CSI softball complex. First pitch of the fifth inning, fouled straight back into the netting by Kaylee Alice. 0-1. Dolphins tack a run on to their lead in the home fourth inning. They lead by 2 again. And the 0-1 catches the corner, 0-2.
Working quickly here to start the fifth.
I thought they were taking a photo of us here.
I wish.
I was ready. We need to commemorate what happened 2 innings ago.
Which would be nothing.
High and outside, 1-2. I think I need a new headshot. I'm smiling too much. You haven't seen it. I'll show it to you. 1-2. Up high, 2-2. So this is the elite company you'll be joining, Sam.
Aw.
That one hit hard through the left side. And the Golden Falcons have the leadoff batter on here in the fifth inning. Alice with her second hit. And the tying run will come to the plate in Allison Walling.
Alice, not one to steal so far. No attempts on the season.
First pitch on the way, hit foul. Quickly, it's 0-1.
Walling, we're hearing her nickname is Wally. Now I want to watch that movie.
The photographer did Joe Calabrese dirty with this headshot. Look at that.
No. Wally, one hit already today.
The 0-1. Bunted toward first. Morris over to cover. And holding at second is Alice.
Felician executes the advancement. Now DeBont.
Caitlin DeBont 0 for 2 at the plate. Takes outside, ball 1.
It definitely got colder and darker.
Once the sun goes down, it gets a lot colder very quickly. 1-0. High and outside, 2-0. On the corner, 2-1. Runner going for third, and the Dolphins simply were not prepared for that.
Caught sleeping, and I guess I jinxed it. I said Alice, not one to steal. She timed up that throw back, realized they weren't going to pay attention to her. Now all Felicia needs is a fly ball to the outfield.
Yeah, the Dolphins just were not alert enough as that's hit on the ground to short, and the throw to first is in time. Alice stays put over at third, and they're now 2 away in the inning.
Good job by Carey to look the runner down.
Don't know why our replay came in at half speed, but here's what happened following the pitch that led to the stolen base. Is this not the right pitch? One pitch too soon. First pitch, foul ball off the bat of Hannah Ramirez, 0-1.
Ramirez usually not one to chase. Fouls that one off.
The 0-1. Hit in the air, shallow right field. Morris back, makes the catch. And the Golden Falcons will strand a runner on third in the road 5th inning. The CSI lead remains 2 runs, our score. Staten Island 4 and Felician 2. Abby Morris will lead off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the 5th inning. CSI in front 4-2 over Felician University, looking to salvage a split of today's non-conference doubleheader. First pitch, lofted, shallow right field, down for a hit. Always have to wait for that inevitable throw to first, but Morris is on to lead off the home 5th inning.
DeBont tried to gun her at first, but it really wasn't close.
Rose Joseph to the plate now. Joseph 0 for 2 thus far. She shows bunt, lays it down. It's a good one, and the throw to first is in time as Joseph dove into first base just behind that throw.
I think that throw skimmed off the top of her helmet. If she doesn't dive, it might bounce off.
Let's see if the replay can pick it up. These games move quickly. When you're doing play-by-play and engineering, it is tough. It did not. But I will tell you, Sam, if she did not slide, I think it probably does hit her. The throw was into the runner. It did not hit her helmet, but
the choice to slide is an interesting one there because you know the throw is coming from behind.
Yeah. 1-0 the count on Kaylee Carey. And Carey bounces one foul.
And it's a situation where they can't prove you were trying to block it because obviously you're not
looking at the baseline.
Play. Either way, advances the runner.
I was wondering why there was the reverberating backstop support. They were tapping a softball against it in the dugout. As that's it out to shallow left center. But playing in the right spot was the center fielder Ramirez. She makes the catch. Holding at second is Morris, and there are 2 gone in the inning. Alyssa Acosta will be the batter. Acosta 0 for 1. And she fouls the first pitch back. Dolphins with 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Golden Falcons 2 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. One hit sharply on the ground, up the middle, base hit. They will hold Morris at third, and on the throw to the plate, Acosta wisely moves up to second.
I believe that's her first hit of the season.
I believe you're right.
Now batting the center fielder, number 25, Julia Del Masto.
And that will leave it to Julia Del Masto with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs. There you get a look at that strong throw in. Acosta moving up to second behind it. And that one's blooped to the shallow left field, long run in. And the catch is made by Rodriguez to retire the side. Dolphins strand a pair in the home 5th inning. We head to the 6th. Staten Island over Felician, 4-2. And we are back from the CSI Softball Complex, where we have a special guest for the top half of the 6th inning. Moving over from the seat to my left, over to the seat on my right, is Joe Calabrese, fresh off his field supervision shift. Joe,
Right.
welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you, Joe. Got that?
It's quite hilarious that he thinks we're the statisticians.
Right.
And has for the last
Right.
6 innings.
That's actually Stephanie. Hey, Steph, how are you? She's good. Nice big smile from Stephanie.
As
Anyway,
always.
up early this morning. I've been here since 7:30. Still here, supporting our girls. Top of the 6th inning here as Grenier delivers, and she delivers a strike.
At the plate for the Golden Falcons to begin the 6th inning is Mallory Shevlin, pinch hitter. Had to double check and make sure as that's chopped on the infield. Grenier flips it with the glove in time. Just in time. What'd you think, Joe? That ball hung up there for a mighty long time.
I would have loved it if it would have gotten to first base a little faster to make it a more clean play. But I'll tell you something, Grenier, she's made a lot of really nice plays in this game in particular. Had a couple balls hit right back to her. Defensively, I think the girls have looked pretty solid since their first games. What do you think?
I think this team overall has looked solid defensively.
And Gianna Lopez.
Stopped by Lopez, who gets the out.
Right as I say that, right on cue. No broadcasters jinx with me.
We're looking awfully smart right now, Joe. Did you see them return that ball into the circle there? All of the team was gathered around. They threw the ball in there. I don't think they expected that to happen, and Carrie threw the glove up and caught it.
Of course. I'm really enjoying the camaraderie so far from the girls this year. 2 quick outs.
And
could be
perhaps 3. And there is room for O'Neal in foul territory.
Do I get another half inning?
I don't know. You have to ask Sam.
I think I get another half inning, right?
It's a 1-2-3 top half of the 6th. Thank you to Joe Calabrese for joining me. I think he's passing the headset back to Sam Whalen. We'll be right back for the home 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning about to get underway from the CSI softball complex. We got a slow motion look at the play at first during the last half inning. Indeed, the out call at first was correct, and it wasn't that close. Credit to the Dolphins for making that one happen. Grenier with the glove flip got it there just in time for the out. Lopez flashing the leather at the hot corner, made a stop on a hard hit liner. And now Emma O'Neill will lead off for the Dolphins as they look for some insurance, leading by 2. O'Neill takes up and in, ball 1. O'Neill took over for Presley Bourne in right field. Remains in the game to hit here, leading off the home 6th inning. The 1-0. Hit right back to the circle, and O'Neill is quickly retired to begin the bottom half of inning number 6.
Sort of squibbed that one. It's a good pitch from Dressel, though.
Gianna Lopez will be the batter. Lopez 1 for 2 thus far in game 2. First pitch, hit right back to Dressel. Look what she found in the circle.
Hang a star on that one. The ball caught her.
I can't argue with that. Hello.
Wow.
Lopez robbed by Dressel. And there are now 2 away in the inning. Olivia Warner, the batter, was intentionally walked her last time up. And she tops one foul.
You said you've never seen that before? That sounds like Bond's treatment.
At softball, I have never seen that before. And if I have, I forgot about it. Nothing in 1, the count on Warner. Warner 2 for 2 plus the intentional walk. And she's now 3 for 3. They'll try and throw to first. Not in time.
DeBont tries it again. She was a little closer that time, but Warner hustles down the line, keeps up an impressive day at the plate.
And Warner's day is about to be done. Angie Guerrero coming on to pinch run.
Guerrero again, a track athlete.
One of your teammates.
Sense. It makes sense that she is pinch running.
Just one at bat for her this year. I called it in Raleigh.
How'd that go?
You have to check the stats. I think she flew out to right on the first pitch. But if you go to her stat line,
First
I
pitch
0 for
swinging.
1.
Respectable.
I think it was a first pitch swing. If not, it was a fly out to right field. Taryn Judson at the plate, takes off the outside corner. They throw behind Guerrero at first, who's back in easily.
She baited that throw. That's good. You can get the catcher to overthrow or give her a free base.
The 1-0. Low and in. And again, they throw behind Guerrero, who's back into first.
A better throw that time. First baseman seemed to drop it. That's Kabbalah.
We'll have to cut over the next time they throw. That one a bit closer, as you said, Sam. 2-0. Chopped to short. And the throw will go to first in time to retire Judson and the Dolphins. CSI strands one base hit in the inning, and we head to the 7th. Golden Falcons down to their final 3 outs. Our score, Staten Island 4 and Felician 2. CSI 3 outs away from a split of today's non-conference doubleheader against Felician University. Meanwhile, the Golden Falcons will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. Vitalis, Kubala, and Alistu up. 1-0 the count. And that is lined into center field and down for a base hit. Felician with the leadoff batter on as Vitalis singles to open up the 7th.
Greenier just threw her 130th pitch of the game.
Heavy workload, as has been the case all season for the Dolphins starting pitching. First pitch in for a called strike, 0-1 on Brielle Kubala.
Kubala looks to keep it going here for Felician.
Kubala 1 for 2 in the back half of this doubleheader as the count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 hit the other way, but foul. And the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Do you think Vitalis tries to steal here?
Not in a 2-run game. The count ran full, maybe. 1-2, up high. And I think that's a big reason why you need to avoid the full count. Even then, strike out, you could have a strike him out, throw him out, but in a full count, I think you might go. Not before. 2-2's popped up, left side of the infield, and Lopez has it for the first out in the road 7th.
Good pitch. She went inside, and Kubala got jammed on that one. Lopez with another putout.
Alice at the plate, fouls that one back. 0-1. Alice 2 for 3 in this game. She represents the tying run at the plate. Vitalis the runner over at first. The 0-1 from Greenier. In there for a strike. 0-2.
Buckled her knees. Whatever pitch that was, I thought it was a fastball. She wasn't ready for it.
The 0-2. Hit the other way, well foul, and not playable for O'Neal. Greenier remains ahead, 0-2 on the Golden Falcons catcher. Another 0-2, ripped and caught by Carey. It's short. She took a base hit away. Alice making a bid to put 2 on, and she is denied by the Dolphin shortstop.
Great reflexes. That ball was smoked off the bat. Carey goes down but secures the second out.
And that's lined into center field for a base hit. Wasting no time attacking the first pitch was Allison Walling. And the Golden Falcons now have 2 on with 2 outs.
Here's DeBont looking to turn it over to the top of the lineup. Get this 2-out rally going for Felician.
DeBont 0 for 3 in game 2 as that's chopped foul. Felician down to their final out. The tying runs on base. And their number 9 hitter at the plate. If they can keep the inning going, they'll turn it back over to the top of the order. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Greenier ahead, 0-2. Just 2 strikeouts in the game for Greenier. No better time for a third if you're a Dolphins fan. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. And that will end the game as the tag is applied by Joseph. And hold on. The Golden Falcons are arguing that the ball was not in the glove of Joseph, the Dolphins catcher, when she applied the tag.
It was.
The call on the field is out. And we can tell right now on replay if the ball was in her glove. I believe it was in the glove. We'll have to slow it down one more time.
No
But
need for those dramatics.
it is a Dolphins win. Here's one more look at it. It was in the glove. And that will end the game. The Dolphins knock off Felician University by a final score of 4-2. That earns CSI a split of today's non-conference doubleheader. Thank you, everyone. And they just plugged us back in, but we'll go white screen and call it a broadcast. Our final score in Game 2, Dolphins 4 and the Golden Falcons 2. We're back on the air Tuesday for softball against Holy Family. Then Thursday, baseball, hosts Stack in Spark Hill. Saturday back here at the CSI Softball Complex. And Sunday once again in Spark Hill. Everyone, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And be sure to join us here on Sportsnet, streaming exclusively on Flow College all week long.